Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we talk about all things VGC related, and this week we are going to be talking about Portland Regionals, which is coming up this upcoming weekend. We're going to be talking about signups for a bunch of tournaments, including the Global Challenge. Hey, don't forget to do that. Topic number one. We're going to talk about the what else do we have? We have one more thing. Oh yeah, APAC and how APAC has been absolutely screwed. And of course, I'm joined by three fantastic guests. I'm joined by my lovely co-host Alex. How are you doing?
Howdy, people. Ready to give some tub takes. I want to go to our last segment already. That one wasn't mentioned yet, but I think it's just gonna be funny.
Oh yeah, we thought of a segment while we were waiting and the stream starting screen, so we're gonna see how that goes. And so next up we have Nails, who is especially passionate about the APAC topic.
It's rough for him. What's up, guys?
He literally heard the news and said, "I am calling dibs on tub takes this week." So, and then last but not least, we have John. How are you doing?
What's up, everyone?
Also, let me know how the audio is. If anyone should be bumped up, bumped down. I know we get this complaints in the videos pretty often, and so I want to mention it right now and get ahead of it a little bit. Also, speaking of videos, if you want to watch this, if you are just catching it now and you can't watch all the way through, or you're catching the ending, we'll remind you again of the ending. This is going to be out on YouTube on Wednesday on my YouTube channel, which you can see in the description. In the chat right now. So let's talk some Pokemon. So first thing I do have a couple housekeeping things. The first is, and this one is totally personal because it's going on my YouTube channel. I posted a video called Balenciaga Competitive Pokemon, and people were really confused. No one really knew what was going on. And so I figure I should probably explain what it is now. There was a viral series of videos that just I guess by Demon Flying Fox is the guy, like Breaking Bad by Balenciaga, Harry Potter by Balenciaga. There's just a bunch of AI generated characters that are basically exactly like my video for all these popular franchises. And so I was like, I'm going to do that for a competitive Pokemon. And so that's what that is. If you don't get the reference, you should go watch Breaking Bad by Balenciaga, because this is a really fantastic video. In fact, I'll put it on screen right now. And
Jesse, we need to
actually, I'm going to get copyrighted if I play the music. So
we're already shilling, and it's not even his own channel.
Yeah, this is not my channel. But you can see this is this is a vibe, and so I tried to replicate that. So that's what that was about. In case anyone was extremely confused, now you can go back and watch the video and try to get a new appreciation for it once you watch a couple of these.
Unsubbed, reported.
Literally, my number of subs went down for the first 2 hours of that video going out. I'm not kidding. And I got comments like, I can't believe I have the notification bell for this. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm having
this
fun.
Is so offensive. You posted a 1 minute video taking away from my day when normally I am here for the 30 to 2 hour content.
True.
Stay in your lane, idiot. No fun allowed. May the algorithm set your channel on fire. I don't know.
I don't know. I got a lot of views, and I had a good time with it. So I'm glad that most people seem to enjoy it. Anyway, so that was that, and then the other housekeeping thing is that NPA finals this week. We don't really talk about team tours because, in Alex's words, no one cares about team tours unless you're actually playing in the team tour. But
true.
But I was playing in NPA finals, and I think I might be on stream. I'm not actually sure if I did record it, but it's going to be casted by Cybertron, which is really hype. And I can tell you, having been on one of the teams, that it is a very, very close set in terms of all 7 games, and so it's going to be a fun time. So that's going to be tomorrow if you want to watch that. I guess if you are watching this on YouTube, sorry, that was yesterday. The VOD might still be available, but yeah. So those are the two housekeeping things that Alex didn't want me to talk about, but I'm talking about anyways because I'm hosting. And now we can talk.
Was it the finals?
What?
Crazy.
Wait, what team is that?
Yeah. It was the former Mad Hatters that John and Alex used to captain.
Shows you how much I pay
still
attention.
call
I
the
did not
Mad
even
Hatters?
know.
No, we're the Samurais now.
Yeah, they changed their brand.
That's not
Just
my
not
team
us. We're not. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Didn't you hand it off to Abai?
I think I handed it off to Kunal. Who handed it off?
I thought we handed it off to Duck.
I don't know.
Anyways, NPA. But anyways, so with that being said, all that stuff, we're going to talk about, again, more housekeeping stuff because we just keep doing that. There are a lot of tournaments that have signups open right now. first and foremost, the GC. We talked about that last week. Global Challenge. This time,
I honestly forgot. So everyone kept saying like, yeah, it's the same weekend as Portland. It's the same weekend as Portland. How am I going to do this in Portland? And I'm like, I'm not going to Portland. I don't care. Like, that's not going to be an issue for me. And then I'm like, oh yeah, Portland's next week, and never made the connection. Like, oh yeah, this is also this week. I didn't play the last one. I don't know if I'm going to play this one. So far, like, probably leaning no, but we'll see. We didn't really do any kind of crazy like stream thing last time because we have a couple of reasons. Some people weren't playing. Some people missed signups, and so we just didn't make anything happen. I can't guarantee anything for this one either, but we'll see.
You can maybe see me play on Thursday, and that's about it. Because then I will be going to Portland. So.
Oh yeah, Portland.
I had DC issues in my run,
stream?
and so I decided I was not going to stream the back half of it because I didn't want to see people DCing a bunch. So hopefully, I got a new router by the way. So hopefully everything goes well now. And if not, then Alex will be hosting for the foreseeable future until I go yell at Google some more. But yeah, I do kind of want to stream this weekend. I don't have a team that necessarily I want to use, but I've got a week to figure that out, or 3 days to figure that out. So we'll see.
Yeah, Cabro actually brings up a good point here, having to make 2 teams playing both, because GC actually does lock your box. So if you're going to Portland, you cannot use the same 6 mons in the locked box.
Wait, can you not?
I don't think they like it when they do that, because then like it'll be in 2 teams, exactly the same mons, right? So it's like
that's true.
A little risky.
But have you considered that you can't lock the other box?
I have not considered that. All I have considered is that it was something that I've been talking about with some of my team building buddies, and we're like, do we just need to have like 2 versions of our team? Because like one of them's gonna be locked, and the other one is gonna be like in a different box.
Yeah.
But don't they not like it if you have the same copies of the mons on your cart?
Yes.
More than once?
Oh, okay.
They don't like
I guess,
it if you have
Cabro's clarifying
the exact
that
same Pokemon
it's fine
on your cart. I did get a warning for that at San Diego, where I had like 2 of the exact same Amoonguss on my cart.
And that's my point. That's my point.
And so you do want to only have 1 copy of your team. It's literally like they were like, yeah, it's not a problem. Just like go and delete one of the moves off your Amoonguss, and then you're fine. Off the Amoonguss you're not using, obviously. But they are a little picky about that, which I think is a little weird because like the problem isn't if I swap the Pokemon in for the exact same Pokemon. The problem is if I swap the Pokemon in for a slightly different Pokemon. Then that's cheating, and that's not against the. But it's not against the rules to have that Pokemon in your box, which kind of makes sense because that's like a weird gray area. Like I also might I have multiple Amoonguss in my game with different spreads. Like that's not unreasonable. So I don't know. That's a whole different issue. But if you are planning on playing the GC and playing at Portland, and you're using the same team, just like put your team in 2 battle boxes so that you can use both battle boxes, one for the GC, one for Portland, before you lock your battle box for Portland for the GC. I think that should work.
Right.
That sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, sign up for the GC. Don't forget to. That's the first topic that is on Thursday. If you are in North America, I think it starts at midnight GMT. I think is what time it starts. So, or UTC, one of the 2. So be aware of that. And then also all those LATAM special events that we talked about last week, they have signups, and so they've all started signups this past week. I couldn't tell you if they all filled up or not. I know the like Natal regionals, for example, like filled up almost immediately. And that was the last South American regional, I believe. And so if you're going to Buenos Aires, Bogota, or Lima, and also Santiago, which was announced way earlier, all 4 of those have started signups this past week. So make sure to go sign up for that and don't miss out. Any of y'all going to Bogota? Nick, I know you're thinking about it.
I looked at flight prices. I can't deny it. It was mostly out of curiosity. Like 98% out of curiosity. I had a price that I was willing to go for. It was only like $450 round trip, but that was still like about triple what I was willing to pay. That I decided beforehand. Like if they were begging me to go to Bogota, I was gonna be like, okay, I guess. But yeah, no, it's just not worth it.
Is Malmo this upcoming weekend?
Man, I should look. I think we have pinned in our server somewhere the like full timeline of events.
I've clicked on the link so many times.
Malmo's the same weekend as Hartford.
Oh, it's okay. It's in 2 weeks. Enough. We got some time before Malmo.
That's next week, friends. Next week.
2 weeks.
What?
It's in 2 weeks.
No. Same as Hartford.
Wait.
Yes. Oh, but it says Sao Paulo is happening this weekend.
Yes. Should be.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a Sao Paulo regional that was happening. Okay, so you do have 2 regionals. Y'all got smart monies for Sao Paulo?
I got it. It's
Good.
Yeah.
Also picking a guy.
I think Agati's the free space. What if you pick something else?
Who's your second?
Go ahead, John.
Who's your second?
Picking Nasri VGC.
Yo.
Mhm.
Yeah, I believe
Grab,
they are.
I'll grab Paul Ruiz if he's going.
So
good
yeah,
choice.
I got Golden Napoleon if he's going.
I don't think he's going. I think it's pretty far.
Probably not.
Like,
It's far.
it's-
Oh,
yeah.
I got Adi because he's definitely going.
Yep. Let me just
True.
look at flight prices real quick. We got Google
True.
flights going from Austin to Sao Paulo. This weekend, yeah. All right. You know,
live flight hunting.
$1,200. So if we go, if you guys gift 400 subs right now, I will fly to Sao Paulo this weekend for the tournament.
That's a.
Can we get 400 subs to get Adi to
Who's
South?
starting the
I was
hype
gonna
train?
say,
And in fact, I will do Portland too. Portland still has signups open, which was another topic that I had.
It does.
That's actually reasonably cheap. Oh wow, okay.
If you
Well,
gift 40 subs, Adi will go to Portland.
no, it's closer to like 100 subs. But 100 subs, and I go to Portland right now. Let's see it. I will book
You
these
guys have
flights.
got the next hour and a half or so to make this happen. You know what we need is like one of those like stream bars, stream goal, send Adi to Portland.
Nobody around here is tech savvy enough to do
0
that.
out of 100 subs so far.
Thank you, Artisan Kane, for the bits. Appreciate it. That's
All right, we're
that's
starting it. That's
one
the
out-
start.
If
One out of
only
320.
bits translated one for one.
Okay. Speaking of Portland, they did post an update to the number of spots available at Portland Regionals, which is, of course, again, this upcoming weekend. And so we do still have 99 Masters VGC slots available, 3 slots to juniors and seniors if you are trying to go as a bring your child along, and then no spectator slots. So if you're trying to go as a spectator, you do have to wait until they see how many no-shows there are, and then they will they potentially let more people in. But yeah, if you are trying to go to Portland to play more Pokemon, there are still plenty of spots available. So if you found the meta call, maybe you play Thursday of the IC and you're like, wow, I am popping off right now. You go 15-0, book your last minute flights to Portland. There's still time.
I gotta say, the important thing that I also saw was announced is that we maybe talked about this before, but there is a premiere challenge on Sunday. So they're doing that. They're bringing that back, kind of thing. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, if you
The PC
scrub
at the
out-
regional.
if you scrub out on Saturday, but you still want to try to walk away with some points, there is a premiere challenge. Those are usually pretty competitive, pretty sweaty. Could be.
It will not be me. I will not be signing up for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got two topics related to this. The first is, so historically, the post-regional premier challenges and mid-seasons, I think we talked about this briefly last time, they were kind of stacked because it's usually top 8 cut, and a lot of people who are very good, maybe even they got top 16, top 32, just would go and they'd play, because what else are you going to do when you're in, like Roanoke, Virginia or something? And so you'd have like these 50-player mid-season showdowns with a bunch of people who travel for a regional using their like sweaty teams or fun teams, usually best of one, just very, very competitive events. This time we have Day 2 Swiss. And the reality is most top players make Day 2 Swiss. Like, a majority of them make Day 2 Swiss in any given tournament. So are these, but also these are still going to be like large events. Like this is still a big regional. Do you think that the Sunday Premier Challenge is going to be easier or harder than your average Premier Challenge?
What? Definitely harder, right?
yeah, like harder. Just winning it's probably going to be like 80 to 100 people minimum.
Yeah.
I forgot I'm talking to a bunch of people who go to Chicago locals. Never mind. I take it back. Don't bother.
You went to those too, dude. Okay,
You went to
anyway.
them too. What the heck?
Why are you throwing shade?
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Texas locals, we only have, as far as I know, I talked to my TO at our local this past weekend, which is unsanctioned. And he said, yeah, there's only like, as far as I know, only one organizer that's actively hosting Premier Challenges in all of Texas. That's in Houston. Those are going to be sweaty as they're going to be crazy. Everyone who needs points in Texas is going to be going to those. And also maybe me, because I'm a DJ degenerate and I don't have anything to do on the weekends. And so I think that the post-regional Sunday midseason might be easier than a Houston Premier Challenge. Sorry, not midseason. Premier Challenge. might be easier than like a Houston Premier Challenge when everyone within 4 hours is going to be driving there. So
And guys, I
I'm
want to
gonna
remind everybody,
say-
this is why we call it Tub Takes. Is so that everyone's entitled to have their
I'm
take.
gonna say I can
We
kinda
want
see
people to
where-
bring in hot takes that we can all disagree with, and it's good that Adi brings this opinion. That's just so shit. I mean, it's just
it's
important
true.
to have.
Well, Joe UX9 has the correct opinion, which is why go to the post Portland PC when you can just roll up to the 4 PC Ohio weekend. That's true. If you are in the day 2 race, you should just fly over to like Nail says, just go fly to Ohio, play in 4 Premier Challenge.
He's not gonna fly. Nail's gonna drive.
An hour drive, yeah. Joe, are you going to be there?
See you
You're
there?
in the chat.
See you there?
Question mark? I
Near
remember one time me and John invaded Ohio.
Oh yeah, I won the first one, and then Alex won the second one. It was
Yeah,
dumb.
so it was actually a pretty good invasion. What happened was I was like, in the day 2 race, and I was like, well, let's go to this like Ohio doubleheader. They had some like mid-season Premier Challenge type thing going on, doubleheader, and there was actually a concert for a band that I wanted to see also in Ohio, and I was like on Friday, and then that stuff was Saturday, Sunday. So I was like, hey John, do you want to go to this concert with me at this like bar, and then after the concert we'll go to these tournaments? And sure enough, we did. We ended up going. We went to see Tokyo Police Club, and then invaded Ohio and stole their points. I remember a very funny thing was I think this was like 2019 Moon Series or something.
Yeah, it was Moon.
We walked like I purposely wanted to walk in at the very last minute before registration, so that people would know that we were there. And then like we walked in, and Ashton was like, "Hold on, I need to change my team sheet." Like, it was a really good bit. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was funny.
good times, good times. That was actually the only Moon Series tour I played all season, and I won one out of the 2 tours I played. It was.
You were
pretty
using
funny.
Zekrom, I believe, right?
Yeah, I was Zekrom, Ogre, Aromatisse.
Star Raptor.
Yeah. It was like, dude, it was
Frogdog too.
no. It was like quad intimidate or something. Not
Well,
quad
I thought you had a
intimidate. It was like
triple
it was double intimidate with like triple U-turn or whatever. I'm pretty sure.
That shit was stupid.
It was funny.
Anyways, we're talking about formats that nobody knows, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
probably need to keep it moving.
we just keep reminiscing. The second question I have is about Portland. Is this is I think the first regional in North America that did not hit cap, right? Or likely will not hit cap.
Is
one
VGC dying?
Is VGC dying? Really? No. No. I mean, what, do you have any takeaways from that? Why do you think that that Portland is not as popular as some of the other events?
Is it expensive to fly into? That's my
It's
guess.
expensive to fly to.
People miss the cheap flight ticket window. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. That's my main thing. Is it seems like the East Coast ones are no. San Diego was like capped, right?
San
But I think
Diego
that
capped
might-
very early.
Yeah, that was because it was
That was the first
early,
one, yeah.
and that was the fun tour where everybody's going
True.
to play the new game.
Also, Abai, we call it takeout here in the U.S. But yeah. I'm not British.
Like generally the West Coast regionals just a little bit lower in attendance, not too much, and it obviously varies. Like California regionals usually.
Don't worry, guys.
Hang
We just gotta wait for
close.
Fresno, and then we can ask the same question again.
Yeah. Is VGC dying in Fresno?
Is VGC dying in Fresno?
I will say I think that part of it is
Oh,
also not just a West
Everyone.
Coast thing. I think that people are a lot of people were going to their first event and were willing to fly to their first event, and now people are just like, maybe you don't do super well in your first event. Maybe you thought you could compete for a Worlds invite, and now you're realizing that it's not really attainable. Maybe you were just like wanted to meet Wolf, and then you did that at Orlando, and now you're like, why do I need to meet Wolf again?
Yeah,
Something like that. So I think that a lot of people are not going to. I think that's part of why attendance is going to decrease, and I'm curious if that. I mean, that's generally been the case where attendance decreases over the course of a generation, but we've never seen this high attendance, and so I'm just kind of curious where 6 months from now, when it kind of levels off, what that's going to look like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have any big smart takes to give on it though. But it is.
Are you on top
interesting.
takes then?
Yeah, I'm notably less like macro about the whole thing. And I'm just like, I'm gonna go if it seems like it's gonna be a good time. So
True.
to me, VGC's never dead.
Yeah, I mean, Portland's still at 563. Hartford's at 744, which is like really comparable to Knoxville and Orlando. Milwaukee's at 491.
Oh, that reminds me, I should sign up for that. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and there's still people that haven't signed up yet. Like, the attendance numbers are holding pretty strong.
Yeah.
So
I want to say Fresno has like what, 200? Is that right? Does anyone know the Fresno numbers?
Haven't signed up yet.
I'm not signed up for Fresno.
Yeah, I don't
so.
know.
All right.
I think the last time I saw someone post it was like around 200. If you compare that number to like the 2019 numbers, I think that's still like an absurd number.
Yeah, I think Alberta just said it was like 200.
Yeah. That's of course including everyone, but still, it's kind of absurd that that's still hitting numbers that you would not have seen pre-pandemic, like right before pandemic.
If we had a Fresno regional pre-pandemic, it would have been like
I
a
don't know.
30-person regional.
I guess it depends on your definition of pre-pandemic, because I think the first couple of Sword and Shield ones were really big comparatively, to the previous year, because it wasn't restricted and people were like, Sword and Shield new game, Series 2, what we talking about, Series 3, whatever.
Reg C, Regulation 2.
Regulation 3.
I do think Fresno, again, I talked about this last time. I think Fresno's going to spike up, not spike up, but like it's going to have reasonable attendance, like maybe like 300-ish, just because people are going to get antsy with their Worlds invites. People are going to bomb Portland and then decide they're going to go. People are going to find their way to Sacramento or Los Angeles or San Francisco and find a ride. So I think it'll work out. But yeah, definitely much lower than some of the other events. And I do think that it'd be really cool, even if this is 400, 500 people for Portland, if that's the level that if that's a bad regional, we're in a really good spot. So
we'll just have to see if they kill the game with Regulation D and what Post Worlds looks like. If there is Post Worlds, maybe we take another break.
Oh my God, that'd be off.
They're going to give us Landers.
Okay, so for what it's worth, there is a DLC coming out this fall, and so I suspect that they will not take a break because we will have a new format.
Yeah.
They're going to give us the mask.
What is that Worlds format, though? I just want to know.
All right. So
everyone remember Paldea Prologue, baby.
With all of that, we now have our first major topic that we wanted to talk about, which is that TPC. So, TPC has announced the 2023 Southeast Asia Nationals and the way they are qualifying for their Worlds invite. Now, to give you some historical context, in the past, all of Asia outside of Japan and Korea were part of TPCI, so the Pokemon Company International, not the Pokemon Company. And they also had a Worlds bar, which I think was historically 300, along with Oceania. So they were in the same category as them. And they would go to events and fight for the same stipend as Oceania. And there was like always a little bit of drama because it's kind of hard to get to from Malaysia to Australia. And so they were kind of very separated in terms of the events they were hosting, but they were part of the same region zone. Not dissimilar from like LATAM, where you have Central America and South America, and they're part of the same rating zone. However, during the pandemic, actually, I think we found this out when they were ineligible for Players Cup 1. We found out that actually TPC has annexed Southeast Asia, and so they no longer get awarded championship points. Draco Jack, thank you for the sub. They no longer get awarded championship points. Instead, they have their own qualification system that is decided by the Pokemon Company, which does qualifications for Japan and Korea. And this year, they announced exactly how that qualification will work for all these Southeast Asian countries. And this is a thread. They're all slightly different. But to give you a summary of that, there is going to be, I believe, 1 or 2 online events that are going to be ladder tours. You play between 5 and 10 games. And then either you get a Worlds invite based on your performance in those 5 or 10 games, 5 to 10 games, or for some places you will qualify for a live stage if you finish in the top 64 or top something. All right, now let's go off.
So this is a mess for so many reasons. First one, just the 10 games over a 6-hour period. You the top four players, top four placing players, um, just get their the first player gets a day two invite, the second through fourth get day one invites. If so, the top placing player is probably just going to be whoever went 10-0 on a day. And if there's multiple people that go 10-0, it's going to just depend on pairing luck and how strong your opponents were. I guess the most messed up part about the system is that there's no separate tournament for juniors and seniors. Just everybody's lumped into the same pool. That's the most messed up part, is that there's just no age division. So if you're a junior, senior player from APAC, you get to just duke it out against all the like top players and masters.
Honestly, I do think that this kids video game is just a little bit too kid friendly, and that we should only make it for the adults.
That's true.
Okay.
Um,
Unrelated. I have
yeah.
said we should have elo divisions instead of age divisions, but that's my other tub take. But obviously that is that's not what's happening here.
What is this guy talking about? What?
We
That's also very, very spicy.
yes, that's my super spicy take that we could talk about on a slower day.
I feel like he's brought this up before.
I have.
Okay.
Anyways,
I don't remember this one either. I mean, I usually tune out most things out you say though. So I guess I should stop listening.
yeah, I forgot that was something I didn't mention is that there's no age divisions. Everyone is fighting for the same world's invite, and so essentially you are saying, unless you are an incredible senior, you don't have a chance of getting or you're getting ghosted, which is always a possibility in online tournaments. And there have been allegations of specific players being ghosted before. Then you could very reasonably there would have no world's invites for anyone under the age of 14 from Southeast Asia, which is also very silly because one, this is the most accessible worlds will ever be for someone from Southeast Asia, especially a kid who doesn't like make money or anything. Like they're convincing your parents to fly you to Japan is so much easier than convincing them to fly you to, Europe, London, or America. And then two, like they've done well at Worlds. We've consistently, I'm pretty sure we saw like a Taiwanese junior win Worlds, right? Is that right? Like either last year
that's
or
right.
2019.
It was like 2019.
Sounds right.
For sure.
Like they have historically been really good, and they're just essentially just not getting a chance at all. So that part really sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just and there's so many issues. One of the issues is just if you're a good player who's friends with another good player, but you're 7-2, there's no chance that you can get one of the top spots, but you're still going to be like an important. You still have a lot of points, and you'll contribute a lot of points to someone who wins. So if you're hanging out at 7-2, you can just scoop your friend who's hanging out at 9-0. It's a 6-hour block, and you can just queue at the same time. You're close enough in rating, and you'll just pair, and you can scoop, and just there's no really any recourse for that. Like, what are some of the other issues? Ghosting, obviously, a huge one.
I was kind of thinking of an issue where like you queue up and you lose your first game, and then you're just immediately like, okay, well now I just don't play it anymore. So then they'll like kick you out of the pool. So like, I know it's like kind of the opposite of what you were saying, where you have like a 7-2 and you can help boost your friend or whatever. But like, I think the opposite case is true, where let's say you don't even win one, and then you're just like, okay, well I'm out now, and then you're not in the pool anymore, which means there's like, I guess technically it's a better thing because there won't be any 1,400 players swimming around, but you could also be spiteful and just keep playing anyway and drag someone down with lower rating.
Or
But-
literally just they get fewer
Yeah.
points for beating you, and then they have
Yeah,
less chance to
exactly.
have one
That's
seed.
what I meant. That's what I meant.
Nick, I was going to ask, what's ladder strategy for this one? Do you play the minute this goes live? Because otherwise you have the
it's
chance of playing somebody low.
I feel like you have
You have to go
to.
10-0 regardless, but like
But ladder inflation
The
still
fact-
exists, right?
I
Like,
think
Yeah, well,
Randy talked
you-
about this.
you play a couple games at the start, and honestly, you probably, I don't even know. Like, objectively, it's going to be better to play towards the end, but you also probably want to it's probably play a couple and then time some games so that you're hitting the segment when people who just insta jammed their all 10 of them are hitting their 8th through 10th
Their
games.
8th or so game,
And
yeah.
so you can catch them. And then just uh, save your rest for like the last hour or so. It's really, really weird. Um,
Right? It
I
is.
kind of hate
It's so
thinking
strange.
about it. I hate thinking about 10 battle limit. That's my
Yeah.
take.
yeah.
You know what's
Especially
also
against, like,
scuffed? Imagine going 9-0. And remember, it's only top 4. Some places top 3 make it to Worlds. In Taiwan, it's only top 3 make it to Worlds. Imagine going 9-0 and saying, do I want to play an additional game? And if I win, I'd probably get a day 2 invite. And if I lose, I might miss day 1.
It's
Honestly,
so
my
messed
thought
up.
is like, if there's enough people playing, if you park at 9-0, you might not make it. What if there's just a couple of people that go 10-0?
Yeah, there's just like so many people who probably have like 10 O's.
So it does show you your in-game like
Yes.
ranking,
Yes.
which means it's not as scuffed. Um, but also like scooping is so unbelievably broken. You can just like getting like a queue with like 6 minutes left, and if you're at 9-0 and your friend is out, you can just have it so that your game expires after the like if you're in like second or third place at that point, you can just have it so that the person is uh, the person ahead of you is rank 1 with their 9-0 up until after the deadline, and then finish your game afterwards, and they just won't be able to react to it. Um, so, like, if you're really chasing the day 2 invite, I think you just have to jam your game, your last game. But it's 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 such a brutal system. Like, I would be shocked if there was not win trading going on in this system, because it's so difficult to track, um, so like um, rewarding to win trade, um, and it's just they it's difficult to come up with a better system. Like one of my TCG friends said this is the worst world's qualification we've ever had, and I try to avoid hyperbole, but it's not even close. This is such a bad world's qualification system.
What
Um,
about the time where they just said, "Hey, Japan, if you guys want to fly to DC, go crazy."
that
Dude.
so I don't even know that that's worse. Like this is just cutting a region out unless you just high roll a best of 1 online tour. Like your
Yeah, this
Wi-Fi
is
cuts
definitely
out.
worse. This is
Yeah,
definitely worse.
like this is gatekeeping a bunch of people. The system where a Japanese passport gets you into Worlds it's funny, and it's like it's a slap in the face to all the American players when only top 40 qualified. But it's like World is supposed to be a big celebration of Pokemon, and having more people on day 1 is probably like fine. I don't
Mhm.
think I really mind it. Um, but yeah, this is. I think I even had more reasons that it was stupid, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, like win trading, the fact that it's extremely high variance, the fact that juniors and seniors are getting screwed over, the fact that honestly, it's just not even that many invites for the region in general. Like
Mhm.
it feels like there's more than 4 Singaporean players who deserve to make day 1 worlds, um, and same for Malaysia, and it's just
Yeah, I don't know why they were removed from the like why they had like a separate circuit if it's just going to be like this.
Yeah.
And something that I wanted to add is like, and what I saw Randy talking about, I kind of mentioned it earlier, is like I do think it's not unreasonable for a number of people to just go 10-0. I mean, it's only 10 games. You know, like if it was a 45 game, like our global challenges, you're not going to have 10 people go 45-0. Nobody ever goes 45-0. But with so few games, I think somebody could go 10-0, and a number of people. And then what is the tiebreaker? Obviously, points.
the
But
time.
then it's like who played
Yeah,
later, got more points, who got better
it,
pairings. It's just
it's
ridiculous.
10-0, and then resistance is your tiebreaker.
Yeah.
On top of that, I guess I'm looking at the rules for the Singapore page. It does not seem to like in GCs if you have Scarlet and Violet, you can play on both of them. I don't think that it's stopping you from doing that here either. It says only one console per game software is allowed to play, but it does not say that you can't use both games.
Yeah, you should be able to sign up twice, and you should be able to play 20 games in 6 hours.
So again, it's also in that pay to win in that sense, in that you really should be playing on both cartridges if you have the ability to do so, unless I'm misreading this or they don't.
No, I would be surprised if they
that's
didn't
probably
allow
what
that.
it's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their standard practice for global challenges, and I don't see them changing this.
And so just like what Nick was saying is like you can like if you mess up on cart 1, let's say you go like 7-1, then you can save that cart for when your other one catches up and just boost.
You can't boost your own cart because I believe they have to be on the same Nintendo Switch.
What do you mean? No, that's not what this is saying.
You can trade win trade. Actually, no, you can just win trade with your buddy who's also win trading with you on your on your Scarlet.
Double win trade.
You can essentially if you two people who are very good, they can both go.
I hadn't even considered that angle.
Yeah,
win trade chain.
No, you can just win trade with your B card with someone else. That's so broken and stupid.
And what's crazy is like this is a lucrative price for going in this stupid system. Like your day 2 trip usually involves a free trip. You get. I'm looking at this. You get a day 2 invitation, travel awards, and a T-shirt that you can only get from this, by the way, which is probably also going to be worth a ton of money. If you really want to sell it.
I'm echoing a take that I saw on Twitter, but somebody was mentioning how this is like the most accessible Worlds has been to these like Asian countries, and it's the most absurd qualification system they've ever had to be paired with it. So
yeah, so
comical.
The one thing I want to say is that online qualifiers for Worlds, just like straight to Worlds, probably are a good thing to have. I think it's just it increases the accessibility of the game, and the online players are good at the game. Just this is the worst implementation possible, and it's at the expense of any other qualification system. So, like, that's the only good thing I can say about this, I think.
Okay, you want to go one step further? Taiwan, top 128 in the online tour qualifies for the live segment. It is from there a best of 3 single elimination bracket until you get to top 3 qualify. So if you can go 6-4 or whatever in your ladder tour and make it to the live stage, and then it's just single elim from there on out. You lose one game, you're out. It's basically you got to go 10-0 again.
Yeah, Taiwan is the only one out of all the regions that has best of 3 at all. But every other region is like best of 1 single elim.
Hong Kong has top 64, best of 1 single elim to decide their 4 invites.
It's crazy bad. It's crazy bad. Also, if you're wondering why Taiwan has 3 instead of 4, it's because they had a regional earlier this cycle, and they gave an invite there. So they said that invite counts as one of your 4 invites, so we're only going to give top 3 invites.
I wonder if they're even going to have a 3rd place game. Like they
I don't know. They're probably supposed to at this point, but if not, it's just going to be it's going to be seeding, right? Like,
but Tom just doesn't really support 3rd place games, so get higher seeds.
The other scuffed part about that is that 6 people from nationals pre-qualified. They make it to day 2, and then it's top 10 from the single elim bracket. I'm not really sure how that works either, because it's the way it says is day 1 single elimination bracket, top 128 to top 8 plus 2 top 16s qualify. Are they going to have a second top 8 bracket with all the people who lost in top 16, and then only the top 2 make it on to day 2? Is that what they're like? Is that really the best way of doing this? And then 6 people automatically qualify, and then you have another single elim bracket the next day.
Holy scuff. Honestly speaking, if you're a Taiwanese player and you have a connection to a Japanese residency, you should just play through Japan's system. It is so much better than whatever you have to deal with. I don't know how that system is bad, to be fair, and it has been like basically the same since ever.
Like maybe this is just a psyop to make us not complain about the TPCI system, because TPCI system is so much better than TPC's. It's got problems, but like they're hitting on a lot of the big points. Like our problems are people go to too many events.
Yeah, no, Nerd Now has the right question, which is like, who came up with this? Who decided this was a good idea? Like, I just cannot. Someone got paid to design these systems.
Yeah.
I want that job.
Someone at TPC really was like, we can afford to send one person per Asian country to day 2, and the rest have to go to day 1.
But that's
They're, like,
that's fine. I
it's
get
so
that.
strange.
It's just like
It's so
the
strange
system
to me
decide
because a
that.
lot of them. It's strange to me because a lot of these are like, okay, maybe not a lot of these, but like some of them are going to a live stage, so they're taking the time, they're putting the money in to at least do that, but still run these like clowny circle structures or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just so ridiculous.
Well, okay. I don't mind saying you're gonna have a ladder tour, and then getting top 64 in Thailand in the ladder tour gets you to a live stage. That means that you don't want to rent out a venue for 500 people to play in a tournament. Which fair. It's the Pokemon Company. You should be able to afford it, but like whatever. You can gatekeep. If you can't get top 64 in a ladder tour, like within just Thailand, you are probably not one of the top 10 players in Thailand, and that's the people we like really care about when we're talking about deciding who goes to Worlds. Top 64 is a low enough cutoff that I understand it. The single elimination bracket part irks me because like you've hosted Swiss tournaments. You've hosted Swiss tournaments at least in Taiwan where you have a single elim bracket. You've literally hosted Swiss tournaments earlier this year. You know how to do it. You could just go all Swiss top 8 cut, top 3 worlds invite.
Yeah,
Still kind of sucks, but like
be
at least it's fair.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good system. It wouldn't be an amazing system, like, but I mean, I genuinely think that online qualifiers are like a pretty decent thing for the game. It just increases accessibility for people who don't want to travel to tournaments. And like that part's cool. Just don't like have it be the only thing.
True.
And
True.
like single and tours, I already covered it.
It sucks. It really does suck. And I feel bad for all the players in these regions that are going to have to go through this gauntlet.
Yeah. Melvin Q was one of the best Gen 7 players. And he just, good luck, Melvin. And good luck to all my other Malaysian and Singaporean friends who have to deal with this. Like,
I think, like, I remember Yuya Tada got a lot of shit back in the day for playing in the Australian circuit, even though he was living in Japan and kind of, like, lying about having an Australian residency or something. But I think that, as John was saying, like, if you have access to a Japanese residence, I think a lot of these regions should just be trying to participate in some other region and get a Worlds invite there, because it just seems so cruel to try to do it through your own home country system. These are a joke.
You might even honestly say that like one country or nation that's not included in like this whole farce is, mainland China, which they don't have a circuit, as far as I know anyway. They just do a lot of grassroots and like online team tours and all that other stuff. But we've seen them, like, they have a lot of success here when they study abroad in America, because then they're in the American region. They can actually qualify through us, and we've seen a lot of success that way, which has kind of opened up this idea of like there's a community in China, they're really good, but they just don't even have a circuit at all. So it's like, at that point, do they care about doing this one? They're definitely not going to join that one of their own free will. They'd rather go to like the American or TPCI run circuits and go through that way. So like, again, it's just kind of reinforcing what I'm thinking is like, you really just have to think about, if you are dying to get to Worlds, like, you really need to get to Worlds, and you're like, this is not the way to do it. I hope you have like a backup that works for you, even if other people aren't like approving of it or anything like that, because ultimately it's like what you want to do, right? And the more people go to Worlds, the better. I think it's like, it comes down to that.
if you're Chinese and you want to go to Worlds, simply move to Taiwan. That has no other problems associated with it.
Exactly.
Well, so I think
Just
last
leave
year
Taiwan.
Exactly.
there was a player that was from mainland China who went to Hong Kong Nationals, I think, and made Worlds that way.
Yeah, that was
Sure.
So, I don't know. I can't read Cantonese. I clicked on the Singaporean one and had that on screen, and that one was and that one is in English, so I could read like their requirements, and it does say you have to have Singaporean residents to compete. I don't know what the Hong Kong one says because I can't read Cantonese, so I don't know if someone could go from mainland China to Hong Kong, and the political ramifications of them saying no, that's not you're not actually allowed to compete or whatever that would end up being. So, not going to touch that with 10-foot pole, but I don't know if players from mainland China have an avenue to even compete at Worlds in this system.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. I'm not like an expert in reading Mandarin after all, or rather I could do it, but it'd be very slow, probably too much time for on here. But maybe I'll throw an update tweet out somewhere. I'll be like, here's what it looks like.
A comment in chat, they should hire Nick to fix this stuff on now. Send me the DM. I don't know, sign me up.
Yo, just get it. Just literally,
Yeah.
Tub Takes. We'll do a whole 2-hour podcast on it, and for each country, we'll find out a different, convoluted but fair system to decide their Worlds invite. Just it'll be the wackiest thing. It'll be great content. It'll be fun, and it'll be better than this system. We'll give us a price range for each country. We'll do all the logistics on stream. It'll be great.
True.
I want to bring back the friend rule for one of them,
True. And rule is based.
where you don't have to play against your friends.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean the ladder tour? That's what this is.
You're right.
That's what they did.
Oops.
You get to pick two friends, and you say no. Wait, this one is the opposite of the friend rule because you get to play against your friends intentionally.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
I'll sign the NDAs. I'll do whatever. Just let it. The system needs to be fixed. But just get me in there.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts on this?
No, I think that's. I think we could complain about it in 18 more different ways. But
Yep.
There's nothing more very innovative to say or new. Just
All
it
right.
sucks, and I feel for all you guys over there.
So, with that, we're going to move on to the next topic, which I know is Joe has been in chat waiting for, is the results of the Grassroots tours that happened this weekend. Because, of course, this was the first weekend in a long time we didn't have any really big tournaments going on, and so we had two. I think this is a paid tour, so a little smaller but very high quality players, very confident players signed up. Then we also had the Nino Pokebros tour that was, I believe, free but still had a pretty sizable prize pool. And so we have a bunch of team sheets to look at, or a bunch of teams to look at. And so I guess I'm looking at the Victory Road tour first. What are your impressions of the results of this tour, the first really big tour since EUIC?
The first thing I want to say, funnily enough, is I remember seeing Marco Fiero top cut, and I was like, oh, like I want to see how Marco does because I like that team, and maybe I want to steal it. I was playing something similar in Series 2. And then found out that he had played against Joe. Like I'm looking at like all the people, and like no offense, but I think that's just like a very strong pairing to have in what is this, top 16 or top,
Yep, top 16.
16.
And I'm just like, shit. Well, okay, yeah, he lost to Joe. That's tough. But I think both of those teams are incredibly interesting, and I don't know. I guess there's like a bit less balance or palance or whatever you want to call it than people expected. Is what I was hearing. But other than that, I'm looking at the results, and everything is putting me to sleep except maybe like Adrian Hurley's team, which is like a Series 2 team, and then Marco and Joe's team. Even Marco's team isn't that spicy. It's just interesting to me.
So, I mean, we like one of the big like winners from this, just based on like proportion of teams that are in top 16 bracket, is Qiantao Balance. So, like, I think 3 out of the top 16 teams had Qiantao on them.
Kind of depends on how you define balance, but yeah, Julio, Sheen had it. I think there was one more.
Ian
Campbell.
One of my 2Ds, by the way.
Ayo. A little bit of a plug for the coaching.
A little bit of a plug for the coaching, but yeah, they had a nice tour.
Yeah, so I
Um,
guess what were you trying to say though, Audie? Is it that they are cutting out the flutter on some of them? Is that what you're kind of pointing
Yeah,
out?
like we thought of the Palin's core as Arcshroom, Flutter, Palatine, and in all of these, well, not in all of them, but on a lot of these team tours, a lot of these teams that are incorporating Chien-Pao Dragonite, they are cutting out Flutter. At least for at least Julio had an Annihilate, and Shin had a Goldengo, and then of course Kion did have the Flutter there. But a lot of
I
these teams look
guess
very similar, except that one Ghost slot is changing.
yeah, so they're doing different ghosts, and I guess I kind of understand it from like a I don't know, pro standpoint. That sounds stupid to say. I'm not trying to make myself sound smart. What I'm trying to say is like, simply put, like I think the Firewater Grass core uses Flutter not only because it's the best Pokemon, but simply Firewater Grass struggles to hit Dragon types, and we see a lot of the balanced teams run a Dragon type, whether it's Dragonite, Baxcalibur. I believe it's mostly those two.
Roaring Moon.
I don't know. What's the Roaring Moon? There we go.
Dragapult was early, but that's
and then there's some
fallen
pull.
off. Yeah.
And so dragon types, usually they're pseudo legendaries, have a lot of stats, blah blah blah. So they do well into these Firewater Grass cores because they struggle to hit them. And Fluttermane was the fairy that was threatening these dragons. You can kind of do that similarly with a Chien-Pao. I mean, it doesn't hit Baxcalibur super effectively with ice, but it's still the kind of the same principle applies. Ice just kind of pairs well with the Firewater Grass cores in providing a way to deal with dragons, and so it allows you to maybe explore some other ghost type options if you don't need a Fluttermane's fairy typing. And I'm kind of here for it. I think that like Fluttermane is obviously broken as hell, and it's a very good Pokemon. But I think we also got a lot of other good Gen 9 ghosts in Annihilate and Goldengo, and I think those Pokemon are really good at breaking the mirror into other balanced teams. Goldengo is really good because of obviously it's good as gold ability, meaning that it's just naturally spore immune, whereas Annihilate can either annoy Arcanine with Defiant, annoy Amoonguss with Vital Spirit, and just kind of is allowed to sit on the field, especially with the right Terra type. The ghosts in Gen 9 are just really, really strong, and so it's not surprising to me that people are cutting Flutter to try some of those other options.
Yeah, I think Ghost is still strong, like defensively speaking, offensively speaking. It's just like people are starting to explore more alternative Ghost types. I mean, we saw back in Gen 7 how good Mimikyu was, mostly because of Disguise, but like it was also a Ghost. So
It
that
also
was
had a Z move, right?
yeah. It also had a special Z move. All these little factors. But the fact matters is like they've been printing really good Ghost types every single gen for a while. I'm not sure when they're gonna stop.
It's almost like the ghost typing is just pretty good, huh? And
Yeah, maybe they should
ghost
nerf
guy,
it.
you're the ghost guy.
But don't actually nerf them. I really love my Ghost types.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
don't nerf
right.
them.
They've got types they got to nerf before Ghost. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. I know they do.
I'm looking at Julia's team sheet, and that team, that Ghost type is very interesting because we haven't seen an Annihilate quite like this. This is a Terrafire or a Stealth Dust Annihilate with Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Rage Fist, and U-Turn, which is a really cool moveset and similar to like the Iron Hands that we've tried to see break the mirror, except it's a Annihilate and it gets to use Defiant, so they can't like switch in their Arcanine, which I think is really cool and a very
Okay, I
innovative
did
way.
not realize that was the type of Annihilate Julio was running. That is pretty heat.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, this
Sometimes,
is
I mean, this is what you get to say about the stupid, boring metas. Is like, oh, but the sets are heat. Like sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. I'll say this one gets a point in being an interesting use of a common Pokemon. And so, bravo to Julio there. But
Julia's still rocking the Terra Electric Amoonguss, of course.
Well, I literally think
got it.
U-turn is one of the best moves on Ape anyway. People
I
should
don't
run
think
U-turn
anyone's
more.
ever going to solve that.
The electric
I
stuff.
mean,
The
I get what
Terra
it does. It's just,
Did he
like
not watch the tier list video where we flamed it?
No, dude, he's about to prove us wrong. He's about to prove us wrong. He
Well,
wants
he's doing
neutral
well.
damage, baby. Neutral damage.
Hey, it's a steel resist.
I mean, if he puts a balloon on it, that thing will have no weaknesses.
That's so
Because of the
true.
Terra.
Because of the Terra.
Terra. I'm looking at this, and this is like, oh, Nails is trying to howl next to his King Gambit on his ZUIC team, and Julia's doing the same thing with the Annihilate, which is kind of
Yep.
cute. I think it's cool.
I can respect that.
That is like a genuine approach to
Howl
take
is a
in the mirror.
fad.
Howl's a
fad.
fad is a spicy take.
Thank you, J-Ben, for the tub take.
That is a pretty good tub take, if I do say so myself. I will
Man.
say Howl is like, I did play one. I had a local like last weekend, and I lost to Howl Screamtail in top 4. So probably real.
I have mapped out so many. I've been like trying to map out ways to consistently beat Palance, and Howl is maybe the biggest disruptor. Like, it's so easy for the Arcanine to just like boost, like say like, oh yeah, like once I get the Dragonite or the whatever, the Tinglu to -1, it's not really a problem, and then just Howl it back up, and you're like, well, yeah, now I have to like switch out, switch back in, and then to mitigate damage, and that's just not always possible. Like the Baxcalibur next to Howling next to Baxcalibur is so good next to King Gambit. It's genuinely like it is the move that makes it the hardest
honestly,
to solve the matchup.
I'm in agreement with you, Audie, but for a different reason. In practice, when I was still trying to like crack this format, I was like, all right, I've got all the other Pokemon on lockdown, but then all of a sudden the Arcanine's +1, and the Flare Blitzes, they're hurting. The extreme speeds, they're coming out. Like I think that Mon can actually do some real damage itself, and sometimes they have like Arcanine with the goggles and its natural typing. It's immune to Spore and Wisp. You can't use your own balance tools to stop that thing. It's an important tool for the mirror. I think Howl is just very good. So I don't think it's necessarily just like a fad or a flavor of the week or month or whatever you want to call it. I think it's going to be consistent. That move, when it got buffed last gen, was strong. It just wasn't the right meta for it because, Dynamax moves, you can just max Knuckle and do the same thing, but at 90 base power. But now it just seems like... yeah, sorry, Bruce just mentioned it.
That's so true, Justin.
Yeah.
How might it have actually been good if it had
Is
a 90 base power fighting move attached to it?
I forgot to... I was typing at the same time on my alt Twitch account. We are sharing the same brain cell. Wow.
It's Max Knucklehead hours.
Max Knucklehead. I'm lost. What are we even talking about? We're talking about the
talking about
results
Howl.
of the we are kind of talking about Howl, but
We can talk about.
Howl's good.
Howl's good.
For the reasons mentioned. It's it just makes it like Palance is an offensive team. I said this in the report, but if you didn't catch that, like it's a defense. It looks like a defensive team because it's got like Arcstrom, but then it just has so much offensive pressure. It forces you to Terra, and then abuses the fact that you can't Terra anymore with your other guys, and that it can still Terra because it just likes having its mons be the types that they are. And Howl is one of the best offensive tools it has. You don't get to run it into aggressive matchups, which is why the King Villager, who ran Tailwind offense, is saying that he doesn't think Howl is very good. But yeah, in a lot of matchups, Howl is just very, very strong. It's a lot of sustained pressure. And your mons are bulky enough with the boost stick. And yeah, it's just one of the best ways to play Series 3.
Yeah. I think that moving back to the tournament results, I think that one of the standouts for me, I think this was very funny, is that it's like Tailwind offense, like either Murkrow or with the Talonflame. We talked about Marco's team a little bit. The number 1 and number 2 seeds both are running different variants of like Tailwind Tusk stuff. With Alberto running Murkrow and Davide running Talonflame, and then you have the Chiyu bundle next to it, and you have the Tusk next to it. And then you also talked about Marco Fiero running a very similar team. I think there's one more like Tailwind ground type team, Lorenzo, which is a little different because there's Talonflame Garchomp. But that team really popped off, and then every single person who brought that team lost in top 16. It did not convert a single time in top 16. And so it doesn't look like it has a very impressive performance, but I think it was overrepresented in this tournament. And I do, especially since it got the number 1 and number 2 seed after Swiss. And I really think that might be one of the best approaches to beating Palance, which is what is on everyone's mind. You notice that, like, yes, it got knocked out in top 16, all 4 of them. Not a single one of those players played a Palance player in top 16. And so I think that might be one of the approaches that people takes. And then obviously Joe also running sort of Tailwind offense. I think that the Jump Left had Tailwind on it. I wouldn't really call it the same archetype. but it is also Tailwind, Great Tusk type stuff. So I think that's like one of the scarier teams going into Portland, and especially given its big performance this weekend, a lot of Europeans using it and doing well with it. I think that's the type of team that I could see popping off in at Portland Regionals.
I also need to. I need to plug myself. So there was on one side we had a Sun team, which I kind of pioneered, even if it was a different build, and on the other,
the Joe team?
yeah,
No, you have nothing to do with this.
Well, no,
You don't
if-
get to play
If anything,
Hey,
that
okay,
team
no,
is
no,
more
no,
like
no,
my
no.
team.
The
No,
Santino team, buddy.
I
All
get
right.
to, I get to claim Scarf.
We're all
Fest
fighting
on
over a
Sun
team is not.
and AV Terrifier King Gambit on Sun.
Thank you for your
I can't
support.
believe that the four of us combined actually created this team between between Jumpluff,
kinda
Scarf
did, though.
Tusk, and
Really kinda
and
did.
AV
Here's your
King Gambit,
Torkoal.
which
It
is
was-
my
here's your
invention
Torkoal.
I was using King Gambit at San Diego, so like, you know.
I
We're
was the
all a
one
bunch
who
of
actually
fakers.
I was actually the one who invented Sash Chen Pao. No one had thought of that before me. So
Yeah, I think Adi was the first person to queue up a game on the Showdown ladder with Sash Chen Pao, and ever since then, it's just kind of taken off. So
Okay. Do I at least get to take credit for the other team finals?
let me look at
Which
it
one was
again.
that?
It's yeah, you can have that one.
Okay, cool.
There is a team report with your name on it. That's it.
Yes.
So, sure.
But
Yeah, no, as Joe mentioned, he stole it from 45 Mice, who worked on with Santino on that Jump Left team.
I'm still claiming the Fissure though. Okay.
Wait, did Joe have Fissure on the Torkoal?
Yeah, Joe has Fissure.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is the Torkoal set? I haven't looked at the sheet.
It's a check
Overheat.
back.
Overheat, helping in, Fissure, Protect.
It's literally the same four moves I was running.
terrifying.
He just doesn't have a quick claw.
I want to take credit for Eject Pack because I think people got that from me on the ladder when I was spamming it a lot. Especially because now that the word's out about it, like I think it might still be coded incorrectly on Showdown.
It's not coded correctly. Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
coded correctly.
it's a known issue.
There's a known. So the thing is on Showdown, and what makes it even more powerful in actual gameplay is if you lead Arcanine into Torkoal on Showdown, you will get intimidated. Eject Pack will activate. You'll get switched out. No Sun. But in game, if you lead that, you set up the Sun and then get ejected out. And so then it's just like, all right, Sun's up. Torkoal's gone already. It's turn 0. What are you gonna do? Like I have 2 Sun Sweepers in Sun before the game has even started. Like that's just awesome. And so that is stuff. Oh yeah, no, I agree with him. This is just a Gotti's team with Torkoal over Arc, Jump Up over Amoongus. You forgot the Ensign. The Ensign over Arcanine, Torkoal over Ensign. Yeah.
Yeah, just following up with the Eject Pack. I think. See, I tested it on Showdown this gen, and I was like, oh, they must have like reverted it to not trigger Drought when you get intimidated. Because in Gen 8, it works the same way it does now, which is you get Drought and then you switch out. And I was doing that with Ninetales all over the place. So at least back when that was okay. Yeah. Okay, and then this, I was like, oh, that doesn't. I don't think that works. Which is why I was running Quick Claw. Which if I actually remembered the interaction, I probably would have been Eject Pack instead. But Quick Claw was funny for the one tour I ran it at. So.
Yeah, I think my favorite part. I don't know if we talked about this story on Hub Takes at all, but John, I think Quick Claw fissured somebody in round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was round
Austin,
1,
yeah.
game 2.
Go
We
ahead,
talked
John.
about this, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no.
sure.
Austin Acosta,
Recap.
one of my locals here in Austin, Texas. He got Quick Claw fissured by Jehu, round 1, and then
Round
round
one.
3 he got Quick Claw fissured by Squirrel Boy, by Jake.
And Jake was also running the same team.
The only 2 people running Quick Claw Fisher
Literally
at
ran
the
into 2 people running the same team.
100-person tournament. And he gets hit by it both times. That's
The hits keep on coming.
That's like a legendary story that he can just bring up whenever he wants.
Oh,
honestly.
he does
gets
bring it
to
up
own
whenever
that.
he wants. He still complains about
He
it.
gets to own that.
honestly, he got fissured before it was cool,
True.
but on the receiving end. Oh, that's so painful. I don't know if there's anything else to say about this grassroots tournament. About this one in particular.
That was my take. That was the tailwind offense stuff was the one thing that I looked at, and that was my big takeaway. I don't know if y'all have other takeaways, but other than I don't know, maybe like Andrew Jenkins's team has a graph on it. I don't think there's anything super out there just in terms of like in terms of like movesets and stuff. It's just like representation is what I'm looking at moving forward. Where Palance didn't do super well. We saw Palance adapt a little bit with Chien-Pao Dragonite, and I think that Tailwind offense is kind of picking up in the lead up.
I guess if we want another broad takeaway, like look at Dozo. Dozo kind of ate shit. There was only one. And it was the Series 2 team from Adrian Hurley who ended up beating the #1 seed, so maybe the team can handle Tailwind offense, but then loses the next round of Palance. So it is kind of like this. We've been kind of seeing this, like, there's 3 teams. Palance, Dozo, and Tailwind offense. Like, and maybe it's a little bit of a RPS. Who knows? But let's go ahead and talk about the next tournament, the Nino one. Which was won by Jag Samurott, known ladder hero. I always see Jag Samurott playing, and always providing like the same team. So I believe this is the current version of what Jag's been using, and has Tinglu, Annihilate, Corviknight, Iron Moth, Grimmsnarl, and Goldango. I gotta say, compared to what we've been seeing, it's pretty interesting. There's some crazy picks here, and a lot of Pokemon that I would not see paired together.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't really know what to say about that. It's just like, those are some mons.
They all have like relatively standard sets, I'd say, on each of them.
Yeah.
So
I just don't know if I could ever look at my builder and be like, yeah, I want to run Tinglu with Iron Moth.
This is
I don't think
standard
most
Iron
people
Moth
come
set,
to that conclusion.
The Iron Moth is a bit different. True, it doesn't have acid spray or anything.
Yeah. This is like a straight attacker.
I mean,
I can kind of get it though.
it's kind of like what Volk normally does, except you get the +1 boost ahead of time, I guess.
Sludge Wave does work with like all your mons too.
With Corviknight, with Annihilate, that's pretty cool. Tinglu doesn't care about it. Yeah, okay.
Goldango,
And Terra Steel.
yeah. So like, I guess the same reasoning as like you can Earthquake next to a bunch of stuff is you can just like Sludge Wave next to a bunch of stuff.
I don't know if
The mon is
that's
strong,
killing
but-
or doing enough damage, but I guess honestly, it's a way to proc Rage Fist too, and it doesn't hurt to have. It's better than. Does it get Sludge Bomb? It doesn't get Sludge Bomb, right?
It does not
No.
get Sludge
Okay.
Bomb.
This mon does not get Sludge Bomb.
That's why. Okay, fair enough.
It does get Venoshock.
I mean,
For all you Glamora enthusiasts out there.
How many people played in this thing? It was like it had a prize.
it's a $200 prize pool, so it's like $100 for first.
Yeah, and then it also it got like a 221.
Like 200 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
In second place, we see Michael Derbesti, who has been grinding these online tours, and he's also running this Tailwind offense stuff with again different variant, but Tailwind.
T-Tar's a bit
T-Tar.
less cool now.
We did in the meme today. We did talk shit about T-Tar. We said 3 weather setters out of 5 because only 3 are really present. But T-Tar showing up. It is pretty good into the Chiyu bundle stuff that we saw do really really well in the Victory Road Tour. So I can buy it.
Yeah. I think I was talking about T-Tar with some other people in different servers, and I'm kind of like, right now, it's just like some players are not giving it enough time to develop. So until you see more results, it's just kind of be that like niche pick. I think in the VR tour, it was also like only 1 place out of top 16. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like people just aren't really interested in using it because they want to play with Palance or whatever else is popular Tailwind offense. But I do think like Stab Rock Slide, big ball stats, weather, it's got good traits, but it also has like not been perfected. It's still in the works, as you could say.
I do think it's going to have a place in the metagame, but as it stands right now, it's probably less common, which is why I don't know if people are going to. I don't know if it's going to have a big showing in Portland, is what I'm saying. But I do think that it has a place in the metagame, and we're going to see it on teams, not super high usage, but like if you told me it was a 5% usage mod, I'd believe you. And honestly, I could see it
That's
higher.
probably about where it is.
It's. I think that's
Probably
like
where it is.
where it is right now, yeah. And then honestly, Pelipper is also probably a 5% usage mod, so it's pretty comparable.
Yeah. But meanwhile, Pelipper is enabling Palafin, Tyranitar is enabling Lycanroc.
Houndstone,
Terranitar's always been enabling itself.
Bright Powder, Garchomp. What was Michael running? Bright Powder?
He was running Rough Skin.
No,
he's
it was Rough Skin.
Yeah. He's not gaming.
He's not
I
gaming.
mean, the Endeavor Focus Sash stuff is genuinely like quite good.
It is good, yeah.
I guess
I
we
will say.
literally did see a Tyranitar in the other tournament, huh? There was
Looks like-
the T-Star Electron.
There's one in Victory Road.
Yeah, the T-Star Electron Rock Dozo, right? Wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
That's the Victory Road one,
that
yeah.
doesn't count. That's a Series 2 team.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's
No,
it's
that's a Series 1 team.
it is a serious thing. Okay, so also we got other teams in the top 4. We got Donald. Donald went undefeated in Swiss, and the main takeaway from Donald's team that I want to mention is just annihilate without
Mouse.
Mousehold. You know, Mouse has definitely fallen off quite a bit, and I'm wondering if you guys can walk me through that one. Like, I kind of get it, but I also think it's like kind of hard to see why Mouse is just not
There's
seen
just
anymore.
a better redirection mod that also lets you self-proc your Rage Fist, you know? What?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Among Us does have Bullet Seed here, and that is pretty nuts. So,
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's lack of stats. You basically just have speed, and then you can like invest into one of your bulks, and then you're just like you're not doing anything other than like clicking follow me, or like you get like a decent chunk from Pop Bomb.
You get
Or
a
you
solid
click-
chunk from Super Fang.
Helping Hand, yeah, Super Fang, but like I think other mons are accomplishing more. Like Amoongus is definitely accomplishing more. Like it sits on field, it clicks Spore, it clicks Pollen Puff, but Mouse is like it gets to give you extra bulk, which is cool. But I mean, a lot of the times people are not really going to target your partner mon if you have Mouse plus so and so setup mon. They're just gonna
Yeah.
kill your Mouse first and then go after your setup mon.
So I agree with James Evans in chat. Mouse is a victim of open team sheets. If it was
also
threatening,
true.
if it was threatening all of Super Fang, Haunt, Encore, Follow Me, Paranormal Technician, Pop Bomb, and you had to respect all of that, it would be so much more of a threat. Fluttermane, a little bit of a tangent here. One of the reasons Fluttermane's so good, there's a lot of them. I think it has like 4 or 5 legitimate major strengths that are often enough alone to carry him on to like meta viability. But one of them is that it's one of the only mons that is still playing closed sheets. You can put like heavy investment in all of HP, defense, special attack, and speed, and it drastically changes how you are supposed to play against the mon. And it just that information is hidden, and there aren't other Pokemon like that that get the same amount of value or the same amount of variation in how their sets play based on where you put the EVs.
True.
Yep, definitely true.
And so Mouse wants to be that, but it wants to do that with moves instead of EVs, and the
Yeah,
open
you don't
team
really- you
sheets
don't
line
really
was
get that.
drawn like in between that, so Flutter gets to benefit and Mouse doesn't.
The other team that we have in the top 4 here is from A-Ray, which I think the main thing to note on this one, it's another kind of like off-balance team. No fire type at all. Instead has double water. We often see like Chi-Yu get paired with a Mungus Gyarados and to be the fire type on that fire water grass core, but instead doubling down on the water types. Relatively interesting, I'd say. I guess Iron Hands is the fake fire type because it's Terrafire.
I mean,
Bro, this team's running 3 water types.
If you expect to see a lot of Pounce, and everyone wants to Terra water into Pounce, right? Why don't you just run 2 water types and just say, hey, I already have 2 water types. I don't need to commit my Terra to make another water type, you know? It kind of makes sense. You get to safety goggles, Terrafire your Iron Hands, which is like one of the quintessential Pounce matchups. Like the Gyarados Tinglu core was really good at Fort Wayne regionals, and maybe did a little worse at EUIC than I expected, but I think that's still very strong. And then we saw Iron Bundle is so good into Pounce, also quite good into a lot of the offensive stuff. Although this one does not have Icy Wind, so it's not a speed control mon in the same way, and it's not Quark Drive, so it's not Booster Energy, so it's not like outspeeding Scarf Great Tusks. So, So I don't know.
To be fair, Gyarados does help you
I mean,
against the Tusks.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
the other thing that I think is notable to me is I see Bundle on a team with another water type, and I almost always assume that's one of those dropping Hydro Pump type sets. And this one still ended up keeping it because that's what I see. A lot of people like to do when they have the option. It's like say, you know what? I'm gonna get to run Encore, but also I get to drop Hydro Pump because that move is just so, at least for me, so stressful.
Yeah,
And
so I
and
wanna
so,
I
yeah.
wanna
Go ahead.
push back. I wanna push back against that a little bit because if you drop Icy Wind, you get to run Hydro Pump, and oh boy, have you ever hit Hydro Pumps before? That move
Oh my
does
god,
so much damage.
when you hit,
Like,
that's
yeah.
true.
It's
I
actually
ran
crazy.
that same exact Iron Bundle set. Focus Sash, Freeze Dry, Hydro Pump, Encore, Protect at Fort Wayne. I think we had Terra Ghost as well. Like that set was very good for me at Fort Wayne, and I can vouch.
Wow, Nails claiming he
It's
built another person's team. Classic.
no. I'm
I know
this.
this.
This is game respect game.
Whoa. Okay. I think we can skip all the way down to 13th place for a Pokemon I have not seen
Okay.
in a long time.
Let's see it.
Oh baby,
Yo,
it's
Wait
the
a
guy.
minute.
I think
Wait
Donald
a minute.
saw he was playing Ditto and asked us like, does Ditto copy your Rage Fist boosts if it copies Annihilate? Eh, I don't know.
Ditto, I think,
Uh,
has its
for
own
the record,
rage
it
fist
does not.
counter.
Yeah,
I think
I think every Pokemon just has its own rage fist counter.
Yeah, I think that's
Yes.
it. Every mon has its own Rage Fist like counter.
That's
Which
crazy.
is funny because they had to code that in
Yeah,
for
yeah.
every mon. Just like it's just a something that each mon tracks.
So the real question is when are they gonna buff Rage to just be like Rage Fist?
True.
true.
give every mon
Okay,
Rage Fist.
that could be like real talk. That actually just could be a mechanic, and no one would know about it.
Oh,
I,
like,
I,
don't
I don't
think
even
so.
know. I don't even know if Rage is in the game.
I don't know if
But-
Rage is in the game.
But like that's the type of thing where just nobody tested it.
Could be. Damn,
I-
we've
I
come a
don't think
long
it's
way.
like-
We've come a long way from Rage locking you in and doing a pitiful base 20 damage attack every single turn until you die.
You want to know? Oh, that's Rage Fist. Never mind. Hold up. Something has to learn Rage, right? Is it not Rage?
It's probably not in the game, bro.
Among
just
Us?
use the URL.
Yeah, it can't be
Like,
selected in battle.
It's dead. They killed the move. We salute you, Rage. You gave us Rage Fist, which is way better.
It's everything Rage wanted to be.
Exactly.
Rage got yeeted last gen too. No one cares,
Dang.
but I
Dang.
cannot claim to have cared about this move.
Rage against the dying of the light. Don't you? Any other cool teams here?
I mean, we don't have to talk about all of them, but
yeah, and like yeah.
Oh, something I want to talk about is actually Earthworm. I feel like this
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon is coming up ever since the last GC happened. I feel like people are starting to
Yeah.
figure out ways to enable it to actually support.
all right, time. All right,
team.
we're going around the horn, and now it's another one for me to claim. Let's go. Yes.
Okay,
that's
so
me.
I will say, in the VR tour, they did not cut to a top 16. It cut to a top 23, and one of the people who missed out was Snow, a Japanese player who's very, very good. I think got top 4 at Worlds. And so he actually was also running Orthworm, and we have his open team sheet too. So there were a couple Orthworm teams that did very well. I know this because he was also playing us in NPA, and so we got the open team sheet had to prep for this specific team, with a very weird Chi Yu set. But yeah, there were a couple different Orthworm teams that that looked like they did pretty well this weekend.
Yep.
So tell us about the worm. Linda?
Oh, the worm? Oh yeah. Oh,
Also that.
I made worm. That's all you need to know.
That's all you
Oh,
need to know.
okay.
Be a worm. Just say like Alex did that.
Mm-hmm.
He did do that.
Yeah, I used it in the first GC, and the team was definitely not there yet, but it was close enough, and Kujesh and Desu did some cool stuff with it. I don't know if I necessarily inspired them, but
You kind of honestly you kind of did because Desu again in my NPA team, he asked for a pace and I gave it to him, and I think he started with that. So it was definitely related, and it's
You
not-
planted the seed that grew into the Desu success.
right and
into a worm.
You shed your tail, and they went on to success with it.
That's true. I was just passing the sub to other people. I do think because again, I don't really have anything.
They
on the
shed
line.
my tail until they earth my eat. Wait, that one?
What? What is he? I will say worm is definitely something that I would probably consider running at one of my next majors. Like I don't really have anything on the line. No reason to hide anything, but like I think it's a real enough team to run into the current meta, and I think that they're on, so it's something to watch out for. The Worm is it's very fun to play.
I can vouch.
I agree with Burns. Why did they call Earthworm when you Earth in Worm out shed the tail?
Okay.
Dang, we need to get Burns back on this podcast, guys.
Somewhat.
Right? Yeah.
We asked him. We'll get him on soon. One thing that someone in chat mentioned that I forgot was that it is the end of the month, and so we have the ladder rankings as well. And so Liberty Notes, of course, normally compiles the top 30 players, I think, from ladder. Unsurprisingly, most people are not sharing because a lot of the Japanese players who do well in ladder still have one more qualifiers for Japan Nationals they might want to save their team for. Number 15, I was told number 16, had a Braviary and a Fortress on their team, apparently. So
Let's go.
That's pretty cool. Suika had a Snow team that was number 24, which is our first team. Snow obviously has been kind of everywhere on ladder if you've been paying attention. And so
Wait, does that team go up in 22nd?
22nd, it's just a Fluttermaid.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yo.
I also want to note that, like, if we're heading into Snow discourse, that both the VR tour and the Nino Pokebros tour had no Snow teams in cut. So
No, there was wait, hold on.
I thought Nino might have
no, there were
but
there were
You
no.
said there were
Obama
Snow teams in cut? I thought that there was
yeah,
at least,
okay, sure.
Snow did cut.
The-
I don't know what
the
you're talking
Japanese-
about.
The Japanese
I think
player.
there was at least 16 people in the VR cut.
Snow got
We're talking
17th
about-
place. What are you talking about?
Are we talking about Snow like the person or Snow like the team stuff?
Snow the Obama Snow.
Obama?
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my god. All
So
right.
true.
Back on his bullshit. All right.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like it's a best of one strategy. Maybe it is.
It just has not been performing yet. So
Well, I heard Wolfie got
maybe
number
it's
one
just
on ladder
not-
with it, so it must be the best team.
That's true. Okay, so should we move on to talking about Portland?
Let's see.
Sounds
Do I have
good to
anything
me.
else pulled up? I don't think so. So yeah, I think we are good. Let's talk about Portland regionals. And so, of course, this regional coming up this weekend. Also, we gave our smart monies for Brazil. They were all Agati, so that's the other regional happening this weekend. Let's talk about.
Alex had Paul Ruiz.
Oh right, yeah, Alex had Paul Ruiz.
Yeah.
And so I guess we're talking about Snow a little bit, and that can give us a broader segue into the first topic I would talk about in Portland, which is we saw the metagame at EUIC. We've talked about it to death. Do you guys have any? I know, Nails, you're going and maybe don't want to reveal everything. That your meta impressions, but what are you guys' thoughts on the metagame heading into Portland, and what do you think is going to change at Portland?
I think balance is still really good. We've definitely reached the point where people have had enough time to cook up some counters to balance, but it's an absurdly hard team to counter. Partly because the team has 10 to 12 Pokemon that you can run on it, and the purpose of the last couple slots on the team, because Firewater Grass Flutter is so just solid. You're just trying to beat people's counter. So, getting over that hump, you can say oh, I'm targeting the team, and then you can beat maybe 4 out of 6 of the variants, and then one of them has a matchup that you weren't ready for, and then one of them is just playing super well and outplays you on it, because it's hard to consistently beat a team like that 6 rounds in a row. And if you're just trying to counter a team, and that's your only game plan, you are gonna fall flat. So, but people are gonna have had time to craft their counters, and we'll see how they do, I guess. But balance is very, very good, and it's not going anywhere.
And we saw it even in the Victory Road Tour, where it looked to me like some of the teams that some players were bringing were very targeted at balance. Uh, just the you have to hit your matchups, right? If you're trying to target down one team that heavily, it's not necessarily a recipe for consistent success. And Palance is such a consistent team that it can still beat you even if you are targeting it down. And so we did see Palance, only I think 2 or 3 traditional Palance in top cut, and one of them we made it all the way to finals. On top of that, we saw innovations on Palance. We saw the Chenpa Dragonite, and I would not shock me at all after seeing 3 in top cut next to that Firewater Grass Palafin core to see Chenpa Dragonite Firewater Grass do really well at Portland.
I think I'll go ahead and chime in now. I think something that I have spotted, and I might have mentioned this in a previous episode if I was on there, but I think Ting Lu's are starting to vary their movesets, which is something that I feel like was going to happen regardless. I have seen a lot of them drop Fissure, which is, telling that me and Nick were on the same page. Like, Fissure's just not good on the Mon.
Mm-hmm.
But, you'll still see it. It's still there. But I think a lot of people are just thinking, like, oh, I can just do more with the slot if it's not Fissure. And that's, like, the takeaway. And like I see a lot of Ting Lu starting to run Rock Slide. I see a lot of them starting to run like Ruination or Throat Chop or both or something like that. And it's just like it just does everything now. Like it does more things instead of click Fissure, which is a good thing. It's healthier. But
Fissure
maybe
has times where you're supposed to run it. Like I think maybe like 20% of the teams are probably supposed to run Fissure. But
you are gonna see some, but it's just like they're not gonna be so commonly spread around. And I think the items choice has also been spread around differently. Where I think most of them were AV a couple weeks ago, and now you're gonna see a lot more like lefties or berry or choice band or
it's still
I don't know.
mostly
Life Orb
AV.
exists.
It's
Does
still
Life Orb exist?
65% AV.
it's still a lot of Assault Vest.
I still think it was higher before, but like I digress. Maybe you'll see difference in like higher performing teams and they'll still be AV and that's like just clearly the best item. But I kind of feel like there's a lot more ways that people are thinking about running it, which is cool to me. I like that Pokemon. And I just think it's like worth exploring outside of just like, I slapped AV and I put a Fissure on a hut. There's definitely more things.
The move pool especially is where you have a lot of room to innovate. I really think that you don't have to run AV, but like it does make sense that it's a majority of them that run AV. Especially given the rise of stuff like Chiyu Bundle. You really want your Ting Lu in that matchup, and it's not going to live a double up unless you are AV, and potentially even invested depending on what they're running, what their items are. But yeah, like the fourth move slot, you always run Heavy Slam. I think you're always supposed to run Runation, although apparently on a ranked ladder only half are running Runation, which seems really strange to me.
That's kind of crazy, to be honest. That dude is a burn magnet. You got to run Ruination. Otherwise,
no. Ruination's at 45% because that's how much it does on average to a full health on.
Damn.
Fair.
That's math.
But like you can drop Stomping for Earthquake and just commit to doing that, especially if you're running like the Gyarados variants that we've seen. I do think Rock Slide is pretty cool, especially if you have a little bit of attack investment to KO like Talonflames, because that's often very annoying. And they only get 1 attack off unless they Wisp and we get 2 attacks off. I don't know.
They get like 1.5 attacks off.
We see, between Throat Chop and Payback, we see about a quarter of them running a like Stab Dark move, which I think often takes the place of Ruination. I think that's also really solid. Payback, low key, does a lot of damage. If you're always moving last, you just run minus speed and you just like our base 50 power or base 100 power Dark move is hitting hard. It's stronger than Stopping Tantrum. So it's definitely got options.
Then I want to transition from Ting Lu since this is a relevant talk. I think pretty much everyone has agreed that water is like the de facto defensive Terra because there's no grass aggressive moves or grass offensive moves. Like you'll see it on Ting Lu's, you're gonna see it default on Amoonguss, you're gonna see it on like Arcanine. Water is just popular.
I haven't been able to get it to work, but I think that it's time for Meowscarada. We need that. This is why Palance didn't exist in Series 1. It's because Meowscarada was everywhere. And obviously, I'm talking about Palance without Fluttermane and Bundle. And that was another thing that, those are the 2 mons that seriously limit Meowscarada's viability. But we need our, grass-type damage that crits through Intimidate and No. It's not gonna do 45 to set.
No, it's a 2-hit KO, bro. That thing's not
The
taking
thing
two.
I think it's supposed to be choice banded. I think choice band Meowscarada, maybe Terra Grass. Just do a lot of grass damage. Why not? Everything's Terra Water. Like you can't you try to like pressure things to Terra like the Arcanine and the Amoonguss with maybe some other strong hard hitting moves, maybe like a Chi-Yu or something, or a bundle that pressures the Arcanine to Terra. And if they're Terra Water, they just get owned. They just get owned.
Yeah,
I will say
mean,
Meowscarada is kind of weird because like right now, if you're running like modest flutters, then Meowscarada seems like a pretty good position. But I do think a lot of flutters are just like it's just like Nick said earlier. Like it's just a mixed, a closed team sheet bag. You don't know what flutter it is until you actually see it in the game. Booster means one of two things. It means it's doing more damage or it's going fast as hell. So it's like you don't really get to see that until it actually happens in game.
It's so silly.
That's like the thing there.
I don't know what it is. Too.
Alex is going to be using top player privilege to scout out every single game and know ahead of time whether he can bring his Meowscarada or not.
Well, yeah, no, I can just ask like the tournament staff. They like when you get to a certain level of like known, like you're allowed to just ask like, hey, you know, help me out here. Is this person running Speed Boost or Flutter or what? And they'll let you know before every round. They just text me. Like I just have that kind of privilege.
It's the Pokemon Illuminati, you know, coming in.
And then I still go 2-3 drops. So like that's you know that.
That's the karma, bro.
You don't have to
Instant
worry.
karma.
You don't have to worry about anything because unless you're at table 256, you won't be fighting. You won't be fighting
You
me.
hear that, Edu? Watch out.
True.
All right.
Okay, but anyways, the
Nails, did you have something
we
down?
were supposed to be talking about
Yeah, no, like the strong grass coverage is something we saw like Lexar's team doing really well, and
Dozo.
and it's just gonna be cool to see if like the strong grass attacker is just not something that really exists in the format. I think Joe actually had Leaf Storm on his jump left, which is also kind of capitalizing on that like meta inefficiency. It's not an especially powerful move, but did win a tournament with strong grass move, so relatively strong. So yeah, just gonna be cool to see if there's other
We need
I don't know,
Lilligant.
grass type
I-
Terra Blast that
Dude,
shows up.
At my
as meta
local,
develops.
I faced a Terra, Grass, Life Orb, Leaf Storm, Lilligant. A Solar Beam Lilligant, too. And it...
Wait, Leaf Storm and Solar Beam?
Leaf Storm and Solar Beam. I'm not kidding. I got top 4.
Wow!
Well, top 4 out of 8 people.
Top 4 out of, 15 people.
Don't worry about it.
I also got top 4. I wish I had faced that instead in top 4. But
I mean, that is about the power level I associate you with.
I did in fact beat it in Swiss and then lose to the other top 4. I beat the other 2 players in Swiss that were in top 4 or top cut, and then I lost to the one I didn't face in Swiss. But yeah, they were on Shiyu Bundle, which is why I keep talking about it and why I'm so scared of it. That combo is spooky. Yeah. Okay.
is.
So, anyone else have any hot takes about Portland regionals? Any tub takes about what Pokemon are going to do well? Give me a Pokemon
I
that's
need
below 2% usage that's going to
I have a
top
tweet.
2% usage?
2% usage.
I have a tweet that I need you to pull.
You're gonna need to pull up 2% or lower.
Hold on. Adi, I'm linking a tweet in Tub TV
I
that you got to put on stream. So this
I'm loading
tweet,
her.
Yep.
this tweet, I think is the definition of Adi because he's like, he takes a team, he doesn't practice with it, and then finds the issues with it, and it's just like, yeah, guys, I think this team sucks. And as soon as this meme was linked to me, I think by Kunal, I was just like instant retweet because like this is just Adi. This is just Adi every time. And
See, it's not just me. I'm not the only one. There's a whole 169 of us who do this.
How do we know it's not all just different versions of Odd?
It's true. I actually don't just talk to you guys. I talk to everyone and ask them for teams and then tell them the team is bad.
It's one of your burners, bro. I got you.
But
The difference is I don't
I
go
don't
1-3 in the tour. I go 4-0 in the tour and then say the team is bad.
yeah, in the local.
Yeah.
Okay, so did we? I guess we could. We've been talking about a bit about the meta for Portland, but
All
I
right.
think we could probably move on to talking about some of the past results and
I
who we
hear
think is
you.
gonna be smart
You
meta.
don't want to make crazy meta calls on Portland regionals. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't have any crazy meta calls either.
I don't. I mean, I'm barely playing the game. My next tournament is still like over a month away. When is Milwaukee? Isn't it like May or June?
It's
Milwaukee's
beginning of
June,
June, yeah.
bro. Yep.
Yeah, like it's just became May. I've got a whole month. To
That's
just
true.
AFK.
I'm in the same boat. I have another week on top of that. So
Listen, I might be going to Portland, but I don't pay attention to the meta like at all.
I
So,
forgot
like,
that you were going to Portland.
yeah.
Anyways, we have the past Portland regionals, and Portland is West Coast regionals. I have the opinion West Coast regionals are wild. They are like to run wacky stuff, and this was and you're gonna see why. So 2020 or 2019 Portland regionals post World, so only 87 players, was won by Joe UX9, which is probably why he is still in chat. Joe UX9 won that with his Evil Dawn team. Second place was Bingji running Rayquaza Palkia. So just a wild team. We see Steven and Gavin.
No, that was just standard at the time, Adi. Nobody in the nobody in the Twitch chat can dispute me.
I mean, Steven, using the team he used all year, got top 4 at Worlds. James Beck got top 4 at Worlds. He got top 8, I think, Steven. Gavin got top 32 at Worlds with that team. So everyone kind of running comfort. And then, of course, we also see Miles using the Lunadon with Bisharp for some reason. That was not
Bishop
standard.
was good.
Was that standard? I don't think it was.
Actually, I don't know if
Bishop
Bishop was
was
good.
not common.
I
I don't know if
that.
Bishop was good.
And then,
It was
and then,
very, very uncommon. I remember this result.
and then if you scroll down, you see a Lopunny, you see a Suicune, you see a Rabombi, a Lucario, you see a Breloom, you see a Togekiss, all in top 16. Portland's wild, dude. It's crazy out
It
there.
is kind of sorted with
Wild
the group
and
on
woolly.
the right, thankfully. But yeah, I think the main thing that we should preface a lot of these like past results when we're looking at these and just to make sure that people who didn't play these metas understand is like the names that you still see around, whether or not they were running something heat, neat, or not at all. And so yeah, like Gavin was running, I mean, he had a jump off, which is cool, but other than that, relatively standard bonds, Gramgus standard bonds, like, yeah. That's Steven.
And did you
Raghav-
see Raghav did not get top 16.
Raghav was 5th.
Oh, he was 5th. Okay, I missed it. Yeah, so, I mean, you do see a lot. You do
against Joe. I can't
a
remember
lot of top
but-
players you might recognize. Some players that you might not recognize who were very good at the time as well. Like Renee is one of the best Latin American players at Gen 7. I don't know if he still plays, but he was there.
Joe, what did you do to Raghav? I remember you hacked Raghav. Tell me about it. What did you do? Are you here still?
no.
We said your name. You can tune back in.
He
him
did.
in
He
the
literally
question chamber.
posted as soon as I said his name. He know he's here.
Anyway,
But
what was the next one? So I guess we're going.
this was
going
this
back
was
in time?
2019. There was a 2018. This one was even wilder. This one was won by Adrian Sagaloo on
Joe did respond. He said, "I have flinched on multiple key turns."
So this one, we saw Hal and Adrian play a Gardevoir mirror in finals, which Gardevoir maybe like the 6th best mega you could be running in VGC 18. So crazy to see it in finals. Sorry, James, I know you're in chat. It was the 6th best mega at best. We see Gary Chan using one of the best megas in Mega Ments, and then of course running Snorlax and Audino on the team.
Audino was standard at the time.
Audino was a trick room.
No, that's why I said Snorlax. Snorlax is the rogue pick.
Yeah. This is 2018. It
That's why there were 4 in top 8. 5 in top 8. This is when was this? This was March. So was this pre or post Incin? This was post. Of course, there's Incins in top.
There's some Incineroars in the screenshot.
You see the Incineroars?
Yeah.
This
I
was
mean,
after the mod
again,
was released.
every single time.
For some reason, Gen 8, for those that aren't aware, they released the game with 2 starter Pokemon only. And you could only pick a water starter or a grass starter. And then later, some point in 2018, they said, the fire starter is here! You can use it now! It is... And it was such a strange time. It was the first generation they ever released only 2 starters. Because the fire one was just not ready yet.
Yep. And then they released it, and they really had to perfect it because it really was a perfect Pokemon in every way, sense of the word. I mean,
here's Gavin again.
Gavin again, in top 16.
Mega.
Just a wild sets. You see, Samuel sets. He's known for running wild Pokemon. You see him cutting with the Breloom and the Seismitoad. Before Breloom and Seismitoad were cool.
He always picks his favorites.
We see
Sam
Scott using like Charizard X. We see Greg on Mega Sceptile. Lots of just absolutely wild teams out here.
You got Alberto Lara also still here. Done double intimidate Perish. Not Perish. Double intimidate trap.
Oh, again, also want to point out 89 players. Last one was 87. Right, like this is the bar that you get at Portland Regionals. Is about 90 players. So it's crazy to see 500 at Portland.
It genuinely is.
Let's get it.
I don't know.
Okay.
And then going back to 2017 Portland, this one was won by Aaron Zhang, the one and only. I did not know this, by the way. I found this out while I was researching Portland because I was not playing this early in 2017. And so you have to tell me, was Lele Blip common in March of 2017?
Yes.
This was right common. After its big performance, I believe, at OCIC.
Something like that. Lele Blip was pretty common around like this time period.
Honestly, the hero winning over Conan in the finals.
Actually true.
Hayden, Max Douglas, more names I recognize. Honestly, I recognize like pretty much all the names except Ben.
Yeah, Nikolai Zelinsky, also like a blast from the past. I don't know where he's on off to, but
yep.
But of these players, I think Alberto I know is going to be playing. I don't know if Hayden's playing.
Probably, I want to say probably. She usually goes to the West Coast ones, but I don't know. We can find out.
You can ask her.
There's no way of knowing. There is no way of knowing, unfortunately.
Slowking surely was not common, right? That's the one weird Pokemon.
Slowking was definitely not common.
Okay.
And honestly, it started to show up around Nats, so I think Bennett was just ahead of the curve. There was like a group of people running it at
You are
NAIC.
just lying. There's no way
what?
that's true. I can't say that definitively because I didn't start playing until post World 17.
Hold on, Nick, back me up here. Wasn't like didn't Alex bring Slowking to Nats?
Slowking existed in the meta. It had its moment.
It was running like Z Belch, right? That's what it was using. It was Poison EMZ.
It was very much not. It was not using that at all. No, it was. That sounds correct. Yeah.
It was region.
Fun fact: the first time I met Mike D'Angelo was at
it was sometimes Oblivious.
I met Mike D'Angelo at a Premier Challenge post Hartford Regional 17, and I beat him with Z Belch Slowking. And then we've been friends ever since. So that's what happens when you run Z Belch Slowking, just so everyone knows. That's why it's the set.
What did you do? Fling a berry at it?
No, you don't run a berry. You just run the Z move so that you can use it.
Slowking peaked at like maybe the 6th or 7th best water type in VGC 17. Like that was its ceiling. But the format had like a dozen viable water types. So it was just like, yeah, it was one of them.
And Wishy-Washy was not one of them.
How good was Palafin?
Very good question.
Well, you see, we just had this Pokemon. It was called Tapu Fini, and so it was kind of outclassed. I think when Tapu Fini comes back, we're not going to see Palafin at all.
No, it's not that. I'm waiting for a Rockwanid.
True.
When a Rockwanid's here, Palafin is gonzo.
Dude,
that is a scalding take. And not just because.
Bro. I'm gonna hop on that water bubble train.
I want them to give that Mon Wave Crash. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Wave Crash or Rockwanid.
That's gonna be my my damage calc for a later segment. How much does Wave Crash do to things?
Yes, it does the damage.
Can you skill swap water bubble onto a Palafin? I do want to point out.
I'm gonna run in a Rockwanid calc with Wave Crash. You guys are gonna have to guess it later, but we're almost at that.
Yeah.
Wait, it won't let me pull up a Rockwanid. How do I?
You have to
click National Dex mode.
Yeah.
Is there a
top left of the calc?
National Dex. Okay.
And so Aaron, of course, Portland Regional Champion, now going to be casting Portland. I think you just announced that today. So you can see kind of the standard group of casters that we're used to seeing. But did want to point that out. Aaron, Necra, Joe, Adam, and Sierra going to be casting.
What should I
Good group.
What should I weight calc this against? What's a funny?
Not Jake, so not the best group, but it's up there. Great people.
True. Where are hub representatives?
Where's Jake? Give us Jake.
True. Where is Jake?
Anyways, yeah. Okay. I think that's all the past Portland regionals. I don't know if there was one to 2016.
There was a Sun Series Portland regional that Riley won, but I couldn't find it on Nimbasa.
Yeah, it was.
So, I know
so
that's
that
the only
was,
Portland
so
that
we
I've been
missed
to.
that one. Was there 2 Portlands in a year?
Yeah, because there was post Worlds.
Yeah, there was
this
pre
it?
Worlds and post Worlds Portland.
Oh, that's kind
Okay.
of crazy, actually.
Yeah. This was Portland. Okay, I remember this one. Yeah, because this one was this. Okay, if you don't watch this final set, it was absolutely insane. You need to watch the end of how Riley won. His win condition was hit a hurricane, confuse them, and get a confusion hit proc, and he got it against Lou. Crazy tournament.
I don't remember this at all. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, there's Justin.
Yeah, no, I mean whatever. We're talking about past tournaments and everyone's asleep. So let's talk about smart money.
Yo,
Smart money.
multiple Clefairies and gut. That's my non. I like Clefairy.
Fair is pretty cool. I miss. I mean, if we're talking about old stuff, I miss some of the moves they cut. I always talk about Spotlight. Spotlight was a cool move.
Spotlight was crazy.
Honestly, Spotlight would be pretty cool right now if you. Could
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
just shoot
Mungus.
something.
I wish. I could only hope.
Mungus got Spotlight, right?
There was
No.
what Mungus did.
It was the
No.
other.
Oh no,
it was the opposite.
It
of
was
Lucas.
China. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was on.
It was the funky grass fairy shroom.
first person to come up with the
Oh, yeah.
name wins.
I said Genetic already.
Oh dang it! It's like, wow, we really don't know this mushroom.
I don't even remember what his name is.
Yeah, Skydrop. Thank you, James. That's another sick move that got cut.
Proof. Free Skydrop. Skydrop did nothing wrong.
Skydrop and Spotlight were like moves that allowed you to express creative lines, and yeah, they're gone.
Skydrop was cool. I wish I could Skydrop in a Mungus. That'd be sick.
And,
I did it frequently.
Cause like
did
there's
that
like
shit
certain other moves
frequently.
that like don't need to like have their distribution backup, like Ally Switch and whatever. But like Skydrop, Spotlight, there's got to be at least one I'm forgetting, but there were some cool moves.
Dark Void.
Dark Void was awesome. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What a real
Okay,
cool move,
so,
guys.
all right, we're moving on. Smart money time. Nails, you're up first. Do you have one ready or no? Or do you want me to throw it to John first? John, do you have one ready?
No,
I'll pick
it's just gonna be
Rogic.
me. I'm gonna be boring.
Actually, no, it's Gavin. Gavin's my smart money.
All right, Nails took Gavin off the board. Nails is going to say that Gavin is going to win the Portland Regional. Gavin is going. I've been talking with him. So, I mean, obviously, Gavin's part of Tubbs, so we talk with him plenty. Good in-house pick, I guess, as they say. John, who are you picking for your smart money for Portland?
Can it not be me?
Oh,
I'm
you could, I
picking
mean, we did this with Donald. Donald also smart moneyed himself, and like, yes, but also pick somebody else. Sure.
Dang. Okay, I'll pick Donald then. He's my ride, so I hope he wins. So that way we get more. I guess like celebration. / he can pay for our dinner.
Hell yeah. The most selfish of reasons. All right, I love it.
Woo, let's go.
Okay, so John's got Donald. Okay, somebody typed it in. I was Adi, I guess I'll go first because you're actually hosting. And so I will grab Alberto. I think Alberto is like somebody who is. I mean, from talking to him, he sounds like he's finally landed on the best version of his team, and he's like, yeah, no, I feel good for like the rest of the season. So I'm like, oh dang, okay. And he definitely seems like somebody who would have a plan to just like farm standard balance if he's using a team that he's comfortable with. So
Abhai has a good point. We need a legacy ban Alberto for smart money picks.
wait, why?
Because he gets picked every time.
I mean, if Chumpa's not attending. If Chumpa was, somebody would
That's
pick
true.
him, dude. There's so many Chumpa picks.
Well, yeah,
True.
he
Chumpa
also
gets
like
picked a lot too.
cuts every event.
Yeah.
Alberto gets like top 32 at every event, and then
At
like
least.
yes, you don't it's not the smart money if they get top 32. You're not trying to like get fancy points here.
Did
Trying to win.
wait?
Pick the
we
winner.
had get to pick a smart money. There was no tournament.
No, there was no tournaments.
Dang. Well, who's your smart money, Abai?
My smart
Who do
money,
you got?
yeah, defending Portland regional
Oh, no,
champion.
I'm not talking to you, Abai. I'm talking to Adi in chat.
Oh, okay. I'm picking.
But go ahead.
I'm picking the defending Portland regional champion, and just popped off at on an online tour. I'm picking, of course, Joe UX9. That's my smart money.
All right, we do have a Raghav pick from the real Adi.
Oh,
True.
okay. Yeah.
Put Rogov right there.
Joe's tapping back in.
Every time someone says his name, he immediately pops in.
I mean, yeah, he's just tabbed out and he's got the browser open and he's listening.
That's fair.
Like,
It's just funny.
It's completely normal behavior. Don't worry.
It's true. Honestly, anytime anyone says my name
not
on
even
stream,
saying that jokingly. It is just normal.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
if you say
yeah.
my name on stream, I will immediately pop into your chat and say, "Yo, what's up?"
Like, yeah.
Even if I'm not watching, I just have the radar
on in the background.
He'll say hello, everyone. and,
Anybody
like, tell
giving
you
us
all his
100% of their attention is like,
we
not
love you, Abe.
true. And
Anyways, we do have the chat on stream, so if you want to post your smart money, I think it's that way. Just post your smart money picks and then point back to them later. Go
This way.
ahead and point them this way.
Man, all right, we gotta keep things moving because I do want to get
Alex
to
has
some
a
of the
special
questions.
section, right?
No, well, we have that special segment, and we also have like a lot of
I
questions.
did not
and
think
they
I had enough to talk about that. I did not think we were getting to questions. I was surprised you posted it, but we can go through them.
Well, no, there's like two types of questions in there. There's
That's true.
How do you beat pallets, and like what flavor Doritos would Tatsugiri bring to the Super Bowl or something? So like,
Wait, what
you
flavor
know,
Doritos would Tatsugiri bring to the Super Bowl party? Do you think the different Tatsugiris bring different flavors?
I feel like Tatsugiri is a Cool Ranch kind of fish.
Well,
Okay,
which
what if-
Tatsugiri?
what if
then
we
you have
each
to
pick a
answer which
Tatsugiri?
Tatsugiri flavor? They probably bring.
No,
different flavors,
they all like Cool Ranch, bro.
They all like Cool
It's
Ranch.
universal. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the orange one also likes like the spicy nacho cheese.
And so I actually didn't think we were going to really discuss this. I just wanted to pick an example of like Trailer's question, like top 10 Pokemon in usage were in a horror movie, which are making it out alive, stuff like that. But okay, we'll jump back to these after our little segment because I do want to fit this one in. We might make this a regular thing just because it's funny and like pretty easy to do. And so this is actually something that I'm sure everyone's encountered or kind of like discussed with other Pokemon players. But like at a certain point, you have to like kind of intuit damage calcs. Especially with Terra and with like Dynamax, there were all kinds of like changing factors that you had to be like, well. You have to estimate damage. You don't have the damage calc at live events, and so how do you get good at that? And I think it's just through experience and through years of training. Honestly, I can't really. So before we were even discussing what this segment is, which I guess I'll explain now. We were talking about like Adi was like, we'll have somebody explain how they understand like a damage calc, and me and Nick were both kind of like, I don't know if I can explain it very well, but. The segment is what is it? The damage calc is right. Is it called the price is right?
The calc is right. The calc is right.
Calc is right.
The calc is right. Okay.
Which may or may not just turn into a YouTube video at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, right. It could be.
I think it's just a recurring segment. Like
I think it's
a
a recurring segment on the podcast.
You tell the guests to bring a calc.
Yeah, exactly. So we were originally going to have me make 4 calcs, but then we decided everybody gets to do 1 calc and everybody else has to guess. So the game is simple. You bring a calc, spicy or plain. I brought 1 vanilla one and I have 1 spicy one. It's technically an illegal one, but I came up with it earlier. We were talking about a Rockwood. And you bring a calc, and then you tell the call like what are the circumstances of the calc. We don't have to be like super. I guess you kind of have to be pretty specific, but then everybody else can guess. I guess chat can guess. Chat can play along as long as the players don't look at chat for their own answers. That sounds fine.
Okay.
And yeah, I know, Nerdo. Now this is our partnership. I was thinking about it when you were talking about the damage calc national dex button earlier.
Honorary tub member.
Yeah, right. We got the partnership sponsored by Nerdiv now. The damage calc. So yeah, simply I'll start it off since I was the one who came up with the idea. And I have a pretty boring one, but this is what inspired it. I was watching a game earlier, and this calc was just like, wow, it really does that much. Okay. And so it's simply just how much does 4 attack Arcanine's extreme speed do to a Chen Pao? Just a typical no bulk Chen Pao.
I
So
should really
just
know that.
no nature.
Oh.
It is neutral nature.
Yeah.
4 EVs in attack on the Arcanine, and the Chen Pao has 4 HP. How much is the? I guess. Oh,
what's the order?
People don't. I guess just like honesty principle. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't just like base yours off somebody else's. So.
Well, okay. So
I guess
my-
I'll have
I'm a
everybody
guess.
say. I'll have everybody like mention that they're ready, and then I'll go around the horn. If you're
Yeah,
ready,
oh,
like,
sure,
say when
sure.
you're ready.
you want to have like one person?
Adi, you locked in?
I'm good. Yeah.
Nick?
Okay, 24%.
Oh, sorry, John. And John, you're locked in.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick said 24%. Oh, by the way, the rules that we came up with for succeeding in the game is to get your number in the range, because obviously there's damage rolls. It does X amount at the minimum, X amount at the maximum. We're just trying to pick a number in the range. Okay. So Nick said 24%. We'll go to John next.
I'm going for 34.
34%. Adi.
Okay, so Alex definitely thought of this question given the context when it failed to break a sub, but my answer was going to be 25%. Yeah.
Okay, so funnily enough, nobody's in the range. Technically, yeah, it is doing. I guess Adi, you're supposed to pull these up on stream now.
Yeah, I can do that.
You're gonna have to maybe do some plugging in. I could always send a screenshot, but I think it'd be better if you actually showed the real results.
Yeah.
4 attack
no.
arc versus standard Chen Pao, right?
Yeah, 4 HP Chen Pao.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
20. What do you got? 25.6 to 30.7.
25.6 to 30.7. Yep.
So sure enough, it wasn't actually related to a sub. It was just like one was at a very low, like 30-ish%, and it failed to kill. It did 25-ish, and I was like, "What the heck? How did that Arcanine not kill this thing?"
Yeah, Chen Pao's got like
It's
got a really
80,
reasonable
right?
yeah, it's reasonable physical bulk.
And
That's bulky.
it
That's as
doesn't-
bulky as Glalie.
Its Sword of Ruin doesn't apply to itself, thankfully, and so it feels a lot physically bulkier than it normally would be because you expect.
Oh,
it
but
to.
I wish it did.
So I'm looking at chat. We have Burns and Joe actually pretty off. Kunal says he nailed it. I mean, no, you were under, just like Adi, bro. Wait, what did it? What
He
did
said
Abba-
like 25.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Abba got it. Abba got it.
Whoops, I accidentally pinned something.
I thought I made a poll or something.
Unpinning. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Shout out to ZeldaVox.
Yeah, no, it sounds like, and then James, I think, what was the max? 30.7, right?
30.7.
Yeah, 30.7.
Okay.
Yeah, so
James
James
made
won.
it in. James did make it in.
I think
So, yeah,
I think what
here's
happened
something
there is I just recalled that Arcanine having more attack than it did. I just kind of forgot it only had base 110, to be honest. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so let's go ahead and throw it to, we'll throw it to John because John spoiled
Oh,
his for me
baby.
and Adi first, but we don't know the correct answer yet. John has a spicy
Yep,
one.
I haven't said nothing. All right, is everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay, here's the calc you're never gonna see, unless you're playing like the 0.1% of people running it. I'm using -1, so intimidated, choice band, Terra normal, max adamant, flacking, giga impact, versus a 252, 156 bold Amoongus. How much is that doing?
So typically relatively physically defensive Amoongus versus a strong as fuck slacking using.
But it's -1. But it's
It's
-1.
-1. But it is intimidated, but it's got all the
is it-
multipliers.
Is it Terra slacking?
It's Terra
It's
normal.
Terra normal.
It's Terra normal.
Well, I guess I forgot I gotta lock in. I've got my number.
Basically, you have to pick:
Can I talk through it?
is it killing or is it not?
Yeah.
And then you gotta go off of that.
I got my number. I got.
Okay.
You got your number?
So
Locked in.
Okay.
Adi, are you locked in?
I'm going to talk through my explanation, but I'm more or less locked in.
Okay.
So Slacking and Palafin hero form have the same attack stat, base 160, and Palafin, so you often see Palafins hitting Amoonguses, right? And so Wave Crash, I believe, does about 60 if you are Terra Water into that Amoongus, and so that's the equivalent of being Terra Normal. However, and the -1 offsets with the Choice Band, so that's basically not having an item and not having a boost. And so Palafin's attack is going to do about 20% more because it actually retains an item, which means it's going to do just about like 45 to 50 times 2 because that's a resisted hit. So it's going to do, my range is around 90 to 100, so I'll split the difference and say 95.
This guy's so
Dude.
sweaty.
Yeah, listen to
This
this
guy's
guy.
so
And honestly,
sweaty.
all of his logic was so stupid because Giga Impact is 150 and Palafin's using 120 base power.
In
So,
that
like,
case, I'm changing it to 101.
No, you can't take it back.
No,
bro.
no,
You-
don't
you
take it
said
back.
95.
Yeah, no,
You
I
said
forgot-
95.
I forgot Giga Impact
Shit,
is stronger
Mom.
than Wave Crash. Yes. Okay, I'm
That-
locking
that's
in
your
101.
fault, not my fault.
No, he's got 95. Give him
He's
95.
95. He's
Especially because
95.
he's stealing my number. I have 102.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go 95.
Oh, he's taking 95.
Alrighty.
So I do think that it's bad. Just like game playing. Like I think John's bringing this calc up because it kills. But
True.
What do you mean? How do you think that's how I operate? All right, put it in.
but
Oh,
I have
I guess
locked
I-
in 95. I think it's a roll.
All
We're
right,
going,
got Adamant, -1, Choice Band, Terra Normal,
Impact.
Terrad, Giga Impact versus Amoongus, which is 252, 156 plus defense. It does 97 to 115.
All right, sounds like
Sounds
y'all
like
are
Alex
not
won that
great.
one.
I said 101. I changed it.
And then you changed
realize
your
it was
answer.
Adamant.
Sounds like you lost.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, I said
that's a
Okay.
listening mistake on my part. That
okay,
still
okay.
counts as an L.
Okay, so let's throw it to Nick.
Sure. So I'm going Calc Default Amoongus as the target, and we've got Electric Terrain up for our Iron Hands. For Terra
Oh, God.
Electric, Max Attack at Wild Charge.
Versus an Amoongus, the calc default
Calc
is
default,
236, 156, so pretty close to what we did in
Yeah.
the last count.
Wait, what was the mon using the wild charge?
Iron Hands, Wild Charge in Electric Terrain with Terra Electric.
With Terra Electric
with
and
Terra
its
Electric.
max
Yeah, Max Attack for simplicity.
adamant. Okay.
Okay.
What's Iron Hand's base attack stat?
140.
154.
Wait, is
140?
is
140
this
base attack.
is this Shroom Terrad or not?
Yeah,
It
it's Terra
is,
Water.
Wait, what? No,
No.
I thought it was just
no,
regular
no. Yeah, John, it's Terra Electric.
Okay.
Terra Electric Amoongus, fair.
Cool.
All right, yeah, I'm locked in on my number.
Okay, I think I'm good.
How do you good?
Hold up, I'm trying to wrap my head around the multipliers. You said Choice Bandit?
No item.
It's just
there's-
plain,
no item.
plain.
It's
Attack
it's a
boosting
self-test.
Quark Drive with
Yes.
with a Terra Electric. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've got it.
Okay. Go around the horn.
I'll go ahead. I got 61.
I got 69.
I got 75.
All
right, let's
and
plug
All right,
put
Adi, plug
that-
it in.
Plug it in.
Yeah,
Got
okay. I'll just.
Iron. No, don't spoil it.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Iron Hands,
You get
252
to-
attack, Adamant, Quark Drive, Terra Electric in Electric
Amoongus
Terrain
too.
with with Wild Charge.
You know
it
what?
is-
I think I forgot to factor in the Terra. Oh well, I'm stuck with it, but I think
Oh,
I
well.
might have understood.
am I reading this right?
Click the Terra button. Oh, you did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the calc. Electric Terrain got really nerfed, guys. This stuff sucks.
Bro, this
Dang,
thing
everyone-
sucks.
This is a bait calc. It
This
does
thing
45. I have
sucks.
the 54. They just like slap all the multipliers on it, and it still doesn't do shit.
This doesn't do anything.
I pumped mine up from 56, but I still was not in the range.
I just
Yo,
did 69 because it was a funny number.
I was
I didn't have any other
thinking
reasons.
that this thing was a guaranteed OCO if it was a neutral on the Amoongus. That's kind of like that's the only logic I can give to mine is that I thought it was a guaranteed OCO. But dang.
Yep.
I
Electric
suppose
Terrain's
Wild
fine.
Charge is only 90 base power. I kind of didn't factor that in either. Oh well.
All right.
Yeah,
Adi,
and,
go ahead and bring us in with yours.
No, I need to mention
Okay,
that
go
there
ahead,
was
Nick.
there was only one person in chat who actually guessed a number low enough, and that was 100 black and white. Everybody else was in like 60s and 70s and 80s.
Hell yeah.
So shout outs to 100 Black and White for not getting baited.
Was it
Nice
in the
work.
range?
Yeah,
53.8?
like 53 is just
Still on the high
barely-
end, but made
Yeah,
it in.
it-
Shout outs to you, Blunter Black and White. Hell yeah.
All right, Adi, what's your calc?
All right, I'm gonna
It's
give
not
you
the Zelda
guys.
box before, so dang.
I'm gonna give
tough.
you guys a really big range to work with here.
Sure.
We got
No, is this one of those 200% counts?
no. It's a multi-hit move. We got 4 attack Amoonguss with Bullet Seed that hits 5 times. Let's say it's got a loaded dice and it hits 5 times into 4 HP, 4 defense Tinglu.
4 HP, 4 defense, Ting Lu. This
okay.
is just Amoonguss, right? We're just
This is
talking
just
about
an
Amoonguss.
4 attack, 31 attack IV Amoonguss.
All right, I got my number.
Um,
And it's a multi-hit move, so it has a bigger range, so you guys have a better odds of getting it right. I think that's how it works.
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, if we get to count either 4 or 5 hits.
No, it's 5 hits.
It's just 5 hits.
Oh, it's 5 hits? Okay,
Yes.
sure. I'm good.
I think I got mine.
All right,
All
everyone,
right,
chat
we're all
locked
locked
it in. Let's see it. Let's hear him.
All right, I started last time. Somebody else go.
I'll go 52.
I'm
I'll
going
follow
40.
up the 42.
Yeah.
I'm going 43.
Dang, John's putting 1 on me. Okay, this guy.
All right,
That's what I had in my mind, man.
already plugged it in. It is in fact doing 43 to 56.
Let's go. Let's go.
And I'm also out of the range.
Technically, John is not in the range. It's 43.2 to
Dude.
56.2.
Don't give it to him. He doesn't get it.
No.
If I didn't get
I've
Alex's,
been bamboozled.
John doesn't get mine. But Nels got it. Nels hit it right in the head.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did think I was a little high, but also the final hit on multi-hit moves does a lot more damage than the other hits, and so like the 56 is not a real max. You're going to be capping out at like 48 or something. But
All right.
but yeah, I choose the calc for this one to get in there.
I suppose.
Man.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a lot of like these like players' mental calcs, and I'm like, how are you guys playing the game?
James, what
James
are you 25?
25%.
What are you?
Well, no.
25%.
Not having your Amoonguss, your physical Amoonguss mental calcs does not, like, you don't get punished for that.
I guess that's fair.
I was running
I don't
Seed
know.
Bomb Amoonguss in Gen 8. That was a real set.
I was too.
And how are you
Yeah.
doing, Audie? I'm just kidding.
I got top 4 at one of the Hex. I got the Hexa Cup with it. It was a 6 set.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have one more bonus one that I came up with during the show that's in illegal calc because it's from Araquanid, which makes it all the more fun.
Oh, I love this.
So the last calc that we'll be doing, and then maybe we'll hit on like 1 or 2 questions and we'll wrap up. But is Araquanid going for Wave Crash? The multipliers we have here is its max attack adamant, Mystic Water, Water Bubble, and Terra Water. It is hitting into a max HP Iron Hands.
Just plain max HP, no
Just
defense.
a plain max HP, no defense, not even 4 defense.
Max
Iron Hands.
HP Iron Hands?
I know that
That's
most
a-
people don't
that's a
run max
fake
HP
set.
Iron Hands, but
That's a fake set.
I looked at the calc default, and I was like, I don't know if anybody runs exactly this either, so I just went with max HP.
Okay, so it's like adamant max with all these multipliers, yeah?
Yeah,
Mystic
adamant max
Water,
with all the
Flare Water,
multipliers. On a
But
wave
it's
crash
not
or-
raining though. It's not raining though.
It's not raining. No, true. No rain.
Oh, and it's clicking Wave Crash. Okay.
It's
it's
clicking
clicking
wave
wave
crash into the max HP hands. We have not gotten a single guess yet. Okay, wait. I think we finally got one.
I think
guess.
I think I have a guess.
I need to conceptualize.
Also, by
it.
the way, just to like give everybody a free hint, is I did not choose this calc because it's one of those like, oh, this is a guaranteed kill. I was just looking for a common Pokemon in the metagame that has a neutral, that would take it neutrally. You know, I didn't want to like hit Arcanine or Amoonguss or like Fluttermane also dies as hell. So I was like, let's just pick like a fat Pokemon. To
Yeah.
530% now. So you said Choice Band? No, not Choice Band. Mystic Water,
No,
Terra
it's
Water,
Mystic Water.
Mystic
Water
Water.
Bubble. Mystic Water, Terra Water, Water
Wave
Bubble
Crash.
are the 3 multipliers. Wave Crash. Okay.
So let me know when you're locked in.
I'm locked.
I'm locked.
Okay, I got mine.
All right, we'll start with Adi.
I got 90%.
90%.
Not killing.
All right.
Max HP Iron Hands is a beast.
Throwing it to John.
I got 116. I think it overkills by a little bit.
All right, all right. There's a lot of multipliers.
I got
Now
120.
Nick's got 120. No, sorry, Nerd of Now. There are not all the multipliers. We don't have rain.
We don't have rain or helping hand.
Burns has given up.
It's also just Mystic
Burns
Water.
gave up. It's Mystic
All
Water.
right, Adi, go ahead and start plugging it in.
All right. So I got. So let me make sure I'm getting this right. Terra Water, 252 attack, Adamant, Water Bubble, Mystic Water, Wave Crash from Arachnid, right?
Yep. Into a max HP Iron Hands. Make sure you
Into
get
max
defense.
HP, 0 defense, Iron Hands. It is doing 86 to 102.
That is
Dang.
the answer I've got
I guess
here.
I overshot a little bit.
Adi did make it in.
I got it right.
He did say this wasn't killing. It's got a shot. And honestly, most they might be less. They might be less physically defensive than that on Iron Hands.
They surely are.
Especially most don't run max HP and most don't invest that much in defense.
Hang on. Does Water Bubble boost your attack or boost damage multiplier?
Same effect. It's a
Is it the
2x
same?
multiplier.
Okay. I'm just a little appalled that my baby spider boy isn't as strong as I thought he was.
I gotta say, I appreciate everybody in the chat interacting with this one. This is very fun. I think we should do this again. This was so silly.
Yeah, no, this is an awesome segment.
So yeah, we'll try to do that. Make some guests come up with some funny calcs.
True. Maybe we'll ask for your calcs and we can just like have a host do it.
True. Yeah. Just like ask a bunch of people to submit some crazy ones. All right, so let's go ahead and respond to at least a couple of the questions, because when people give us replies for stuff to talk on the show, I don't want to completely ignore them. And so let's look at some of the questions
All right, I got
here.
one. Jehu, this
Go
is
ahead.
for you. You're hiring a
Sure.
cook to man a food truck on Mondays, but the only applicants are Paradox Pokemon. Which one are you hiring? Specifically on Mondays.
Okay, but first of all, wait, only on Mondays?
Only on Mondays.
Oh, okay, only on Mondays. Okay, first of all, you have to tell me who you think I would hire, and then I'll tell you who I hire.
Wait, why do I have to guess? I'm looking to the
What?
Okay,
Because
I'm
that's the
getting-
question, right? Who do you think I value in a working class Paradox Pokemon on my food
I
truck
think you
on
just got
Mondays?
such weird takes that I can't guess.
What? You're supposed to guess.
But I have my guess. Yes, I do.
Okay, what is
Yeah.
your guess?
It's Iron Hands.
Wow, okay.
I think Iron Valiant's going to be way better in a kitchen than Iron Hands. I think Iron Hands takes up too much space, and he's just
Just because
he
does
gets in the
probably
way.
struggle to fit into the food
Uh-huh.
truck.
Uh-huh. All right, Adi, what's your call?
You seem like the type of person who hire a Slitherwing. I don't know why.
Do you think I want that in my food truck, bro?
Yeah, dude.
What? Man, that was not a good answer. Okay, the
It's
answer
gotta
is
be
Iron
Valiant.
Bundle, and here's why. Okay.
Okay.
It's because Iron Bundle can create water, and water is good because you need to have running water in a food truck. Therefore, if I have Iron Bundle on Mondays, I don't have to pay for my water.
Yeah, no, that's he just carries around his jug of water.
Yeah,
He
I think
just brings-
it's ice cold, but sometimes you want the cold water.
You might be able to keep yourself cool in there. I like it.
For sure.
Yeah, okay, that's better. logic
Also, he
than
can
just-
cool all your drinks off for free, so you don't have to use a refrigerator either. Excellent
I think
person.
Chuppa asked a good question. What's the hardest fit you've worn to a VGC event? The problem is, Chuppa, I don't think we can give a good answer because none of us are going to be able to describe outfits very well.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
I can
no,
give you
it's
an
just-
answer. I can
It's
give
a
you
hoodie
an
and pajama pants.
So
So that goes crazy.
my first regional ever, I was working consulting at the time, right? And so I was doing travel consulting. And one of the perks of that is that they fly you to a place and they fly you back home for the weekend, or they fly you anywhere in the country that costs less than your flight home. And I was working in DC. I was living in DC and working in LA, and they were like, "Yeah, you can basically fly anywhere in the country," which was sick. It's why I went to so many events back in 2017, post World 17. And the first regional I went to was Hartford. So they flew me directly from LA to Hartford, and I did not realize that it was going to be very cold in Hartford. I looked at the forecast, at the time it was like 60, 70. I was like, this is fine. And then when I got there, it was like 40, and I was freezing. So I was wearing basically like not quite a suit, but like a dress shirt with like layers and khaki pants, and just like looked like I was going to a business meeting. That's the hardest fit I've wore to a VGC event.
I used to wear dress shirts and like nice set of pants to all the events that I went to, but then I decided that I just wanted to. I thought I could still look decent in just like sweatpants and a nice, just comfortable shirt, kind of like what I'm doing now. But so that's just basically my go-to look nowadays. So, anyways, I don't know if it's the hardest fit, but let's see. We'll pick a serious Mon one that I saw. I think we could maybe try to hit all of the Palance ones really quick. Professor Shroomish asks, strategies to make offensive pushes in 2023 games without relying too much on heavy or read-heavy paper-thin Mons.
Yeah,
think-
so you,
Go ahead,
I got this one. The way you do it is you click Howl with your Arcanine next to other members of Palance, and that's how you apply offensive pressure, and it's really effective.
Okay.
I do think
But
that
if
you're supposed to just use like Mons that damage trade well. Like I think there's the core 4 Pokemon of Palance, and that's like the Arcanine, Amoonguss, Palafin, Flutter, and then there's what a lot of people, I think I've heard Nick refer to it a lot as the Mirror Breaker and the Offense Breaker, and I like to refer to them as the Meatball, like just because they're just a mon that's just like has a lot
That
of
is
stats.
that is the identity of the offense breaker. It's true.
Yeah,
I think
it's just a meatball Pokemon. I think you take that Pokemon, that your Baxcalibur or whatever, something that like just trades hits better, and that's all you got to do. I think that's it. But otherwise, I think this is talking more about using offensive type teams, and I think the way to get around that is probably to just like use redirection. Maybe Mousehold or Indeedee are underexplored.
No,
I think Nick
the
said
answer-
that Mousehold seems decent into certain Palance teams. Was that true, Nick?
Wait, sorry, repeat that.
You said Mousehold, like Follow Me, might be a bit hard for certain Palance teams.
Well,
to
yeah.
handle.
So Palance has the issue where all of its attacks are single target. So I think the right mousehold count actually will give it a lot of trouble. The issue is, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but there's like 12 different mons you actually have to counter if you're trying to target Palance, and a lot of the offensive teams just roll over support mouse. So you have to make your team work with a support that only wants to come some of the time. So like that is tricky, but yeah, I do think that support mouse has like a place into balance.
See, all I'm hearing from that is that Armarouge and DD beats it all.
okay.
True.
Here's my answer. Just use pins. The answer to what you're looking for is you need to pin your opponent. If you don't want to play a read heavy game style, you need to think very critically about how you're building your offensive teams so as to pin your opponent's defensive slots. And that's why we see Chiyu bundle do so well, is because into Fire, Water, Grass cores, that Fire, Freeze, Dry combination is basically impossible to either tank and to Terra out of, especially since Palance teams, they're Terra Water Amoonguss, they're Terra Grass or Flying Arcanine, and they're Terra Water Palafin or maybe Terra Grass Palafin. They're not defensively tearing out of that combination, right? So if you want to play offense, you either play read heavy or you figure out how to position yourself to pin your opponent, and that is like really the correct way to play offense. And I made a video on it 2 years ago, and Bad Intent made a video on it 10 years ago,
In 2014,
7 years ago, and that's just like the cornerstone of playing hyper offense and basically Pokemon fundamentals, honestly. It's really hard to do in practice, but it is what you should be aiming to do when you're playing an offensive team if you are trying to not play read heavy, because playing read heavy only works for so long.
And this is the concept that Palance does really well. Is it just sets up positions where you need a Terra Grass to get out of the spore, but also the Arcanine is foil blitzing you, and the Roaring Moon or the Dragonite are Terra flying you, or you want to Terrify your physical attacker to not get burned, but then Palafin Wave crashes you. Like this is like, it's why I call Palance an offensive team. It's using offensive concepts and applying them very efficiently and effectively.
I hope that also kind of answered your question, Zelda Vox, if you're still here, about like what team building advice do you have for someone who doesn't want to play balanced mirrors. There are like, I guess it's like a bit of a different question, but that's kind of a bit of advice on how to play something a bit more offensive.
I do genuinely think that the balance mirrors are quite offensive in nature, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm just double checking if there's any other like variations on the. Oh, I liked this question. Has the value of ladder practice decreased in the current open team sheet format? I'd say a bit. Like, I think that you're still able to get open team sheet games on Showdown, and then like, I think what you do when you're playing a closed team sheet game, is you commit to your opponent running a certain set. Like, let's say you're like playing against an Annihilate, and you're like, okay, I'm going to play this like I know they're Defiant, and then you spore it, and it's Vital Spirit, then you say you got close team sheeted if that like cost you the game. You know, that's how you can kind of get some open team sheet practice even in closed team sheet games. It's just like when you play the game like they are using a kind of expected sets, but you make some assumptions, but if you get them wrong drastically, then you're able to write it off. But also, you know, still do your best to get practice out of it anyway, I guess.
All I got.
Yeah, I like somebody simply just asked counterbalance. That is what everybody's looking for.
Counterbalance.
So true.
If you know, you should be booking a flight to Portland. There's still 90 seats available.
I think it might have something to do with involving a Storm Drain Tatsugiri. And maybe like a setup fire type or something, you know?
All right, we're gonna hit these last three really quick. We have this one from Andrew Armstrong. I've only got one local in attendance in 6 weeks. What's the best strategy when you only got one event to worry about? I think one thing is like if you know your local meta, that helps a lot. That's a bit more of a thing when locals are happening frequently and you're playing them often. But if you're going to just one tournament, there's nothing wrong with just taking a team and refining it. You do want to be able to beat what your local flavor is, but if you don't know what that is, then just make sure to keep up with the major tournaments that are going on, because people are likely to steal teams and concepts. And just stick to what you know. I think especially at the local level, you don't need to beat literally everything. So I think using the team that you're most familiar with is a strong pick.
Yep. One tricking a team is the best way to get results above your skill bracket. And so just like regardless of how good you are, knowing your matchups inside and out, and like everything your team needs to do is just going to be good for your results. So
also, just respond to James in the Twitch chat saying, I lose to the close team sheet household player and tell them see you at regionals. No, you will see them in the GC, and they will kick your ass again. They're just practicing.
Respect the Mousehold online.
They're practicing for something different.
I will not be accepting
every
TPCs
time.
this week. I'm sorry.
Every time they just pop bomb me and I lose them on immediately.
Then there was Trailer's question, and if the top 10 Pokemon usage were in a horror movie, which ones are making it out alive?
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. The top 10 in usage.
Fluttermane makes it out 3.
Fluttermane is the evil villain in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another inch to that.
Oh, true.
So Fluttermane's dying because it is the antagonist, and the antagonist always dies.
I think Ting Lu is too slow and would probably die.
Ting Lu's dying.
Ting Lu gets stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Amoonguss might be living.
Chen Pao definitely sprints out of there.
Nah, Chen Pao dies. Chen Pao it's too frail. Like
die.
Eventually it will die. It won't die first, but it will die eventually.
No. Chen Pao is a little more noble than all you people think he is. He's trying to save Ting Lu, his brother, and then Ting Lu's too slow, so they both die.
What? No. Qian Pao like drops the defense of the rest of the group. Like Qian Pao and Jiu make everyone die.
Yeah, but
true.
So here's the thing.
They're still chilling.
It's
okay,
a horror
but
movie.
Dragonite has extreme speed.
It's a horror movie, so it's like 3 of the 10 people will live, right? So I don't think it's more than 2 or 3. And I think Palafin always lives. I think Palafin's just surviving because he's the hero.
Palfin's the hero. Palfin's the hero.
Palafin's
I think
the protagonist.
Amoonguss lives.
But wait, what is the 10th mon, so I know which one to...
Iron
Iron
Hands.
Hands.
It's Palafin.
Iron Hands.
Oh, Iron Hands? Oh, okay. I think it's Palafin, Amoonguss.
I think Arcanine can live.
No, I think Amoonguss isn't living. I
I don't think
Okay,
Amoonguss
I
is
also think
living.
Arcanine's a dog.
I
So
think-
do dogs die in horror movies?
Yes, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
really sad.
Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no.
I think Dragonite survives. I think Dragonite's like
Dragonite
the derpy guy
definitely
who you don't.
will.
You look at him, he's like he can't be capable of surviving a haunted house, and then he does.
Dragonite, Palafin, and I still think Chen Pao. That's my 3.
I think
Pao's like-
Amoonguss.
The fastest person is never going to survive, right? It defeats the point, because if they can just run away from the evil guy all the time, then is not a good poor villain.
He's
gonna
got
get,
swords for teeth. He's got swords for teeth.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna fight. He's the guy who's gonna try to fight the Fluttermane and lose the speed tie.
Yep.
Okay, I'm editing my answer to Palafin, Dragonite, and Iron Hands. I think that's what I'm going with. Iron Hands has got the stamina. He's got the Volt Switch. He's getting out of there.
All right, and the last question we have is from Bruno, who says, "Are there more wheels or doors in the world?" I feel like I've seen this question in other places. I don't know.
What qualifies as a wheel? Is it just...
It feels like it's gotta be
Circular
wheels.
object that helps you move other objects.
Like the
Okay,
thing is,
so-
that wheels are on cars. They're on wheelbarrows. They're on like.
So, like, how many
Brackets
wheels does a
around-
car have? Does
Okay.
a steering wheel count?
Does my Nintendo Switch like Joy-Con count as a wheel?
That's a good question.
Does a gear count as a wheel? If a gear is a wheel, then it's clearly
Yeah.
a wheel.
We need one of those alignment charts where it tells us what's a wheel and what's not.
There's
Yeah, we
just
can
so
figure out the
few
break
doors
point.
though. Like in comparison.
Okay, but if you think about it as like the average person, right? Like my house, okay, let's say like a household of 4. My house has what, 10 doors in it maybe? That might be overestimating it, but like closet doors, right, included. And I have 4 wheels in my car, and the average household maybe has probably has 1 car if you
Yeah.
include everywhere.
Yeah,
so
but
like,
there's more wheels. I have wheels on my chair.
right, you get, but
So-
I do in fact have wheels on my chair. Oh, it's definitely wheels.
My
yeah.
chair has like 6 wheels.
Yeah, no, it's definitely wheels, but just for cars themselves, they also have 4 doors, along with their
Not
four-wheels.
not all car models have 4 doors.
That's true. And they
Cars have doors. Ah!
That's true. Okay, well, cars are not the main source of wheels. Is the other thing.
they're not. They're really not. Yeah, it's definitely wheels. Like wheels are
Well, here's
used
the
for
thing.
so many
I think
more things.
a semi truck has like what, 20 wheels, and has only 2 doors. The 3 doors if you include the back of the. semi-
Yeah, the back counts, and there's also
Yeah. So I think wheels wins 100%,
Mhm.
and doors, whatever.
You have to get
Does
very
the doorknob
specific
count as a
about your
wheel?
definition of a wheel before wheels.
Does the
starts to-
doorknob count as a wheel?
Okay, so here's something else to consider: is like, are there more wheels or doors? And like, we're like, everyone's just thinking about cars and shit, but also just thinking about like, you know, your house has a door. How often do you replace your door? Yeah, I mean, very, very rarely. But your car, like, it does like go through the wheels. You have to change your wheels like every like 40 miles or 40,000 miles or something. 40 miles, yeah. So like, and like if you get a hole in it or something, I feel like wheels are constantly being replaced. And so yeah, it's just wheels.
got
It's
it.
wheels.
I found wordreference.com has a list of things with wheels on it. All right, let's
All right,
go.
yeah, I think
Okay.
it is time to end the podcast.
We're too far in. Also, Draco Jack, I hate you for that comment.
would win. All the wheels are 12 billion lions.
If
what's
my
the
eye
wheel-
is a door to the world, then my eyes are small as hell.
Eyes are
door is
wheels,
small.
dude. Honestly, if you can, they're circular.
Eyes are wheels. Yeah, they roll around in your eye socket.
Here
My
we go.
wheel, I did blow out a tire when taking birds to the airport. That's true.
Using the wheel, Sumerians invented a device that spins clay as a
Shut
potter
up,
shape
man.
into
All
the
right.
desired
Okay,
Who
this
shape.
guy's
are we-
nerding
who
out.
are
we
We're,
rating?
we're ending.
Who are we?
We have to
rating?
do the history of wheels is the next segment on the show.
Shut up.
Give me control of the podcast so I can mute audio. I forgot. Actually, I could just disconnect him from this call. Oh wait, no, but he would still be on the stream. We would be off.
You and me.
I mean, that is.
We did not plan this episode very well.
Well,
Yeah, we did.
anyways, thank you guys
In
all
the segment.
for tuning in. We're gonna give you, we're gonna hand you off to someone else. But remember, if you did miss part of this, you can catch it on YouTube on Wednesday. So make sure to look out for that. Go watch Balenciaga. It's very important. Click on it as many times as you can.
Most of our Twitters are right here above me, or
Yes.
all of them are there. So yeah. Just,
Wait, you're watching the
just go
stream?
there.
That's crazy.
I opened it once.
Okay. Well, I see that Below Zero is using DocSpawn, and so I think I want to rate them. I think.
Yeah, let's go
I can-
go have some Docspawn fun over there.
Follow me
thank you
at
guys for tuning in.
Follow me on
We're-
Blue Sky at nails.bsky.social.
True. I hope you guys enjoyed the fun new segment. We're gonna try maybe bringing that back. We'll see. I've also got some other funny ideas to try out for the stream. We won't have as many dead weeks coming up because of tournaments, but we'll talk more about that later. We're gonna send you over to Below Zero, and hope you guys have a good rest of your night.
Catch you all later.
Peace out.